Going live. We're live.
Surprise! Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good day. Good morning. Welcome.
Good weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. Someone might get that reference.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
I don't actually know
And
any
I love it.
I don't actually know any of the Weeknd's songs. But yeah.
Well.
However, I was referencing the Weeknd being introduced. Okay. So yeah. It's on like the Tonight some Tonight show that he was on, and it was who's the guy that did James Bond recently? Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig was presenting. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Weeknd," and you can interpret that two different ways.
So it was a joke because it was based on the subversion of expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
Now that we have fully explained this, do you think we'll get a laugh out of the audience?
I'm gonna check.
No.
Yeah, not seeing anything either.
Damn.
Okay.
We need a new audience.
Maybe.
It's not happening. At least I like the PS4 video.
I was going to say, Spectre, welcome, friend. You are welcome in my home. Someone likes the PS4 video. No one else did.
I did.
Yeah, I was a little bit.
The story.
Yeah, I think I needed to cut it down to like 20 minutes, because it ended up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know that.
This is illegal.
Yeah. The video came out at like 28 minutes, and I think I needed to just slice that sucker down to like 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I was it's a bit of a strong word to say it bombed, because it didn't bomb. However,
it's not a slime tracker.
No, yeah, it's not a slime video. Those are bombs. Those come in at 10. It came in at like 6th in the first 24 hours, I think. So that's a video, you know. I was a bit, I don't know. Maybe the thumbnail game was too weak. I didn't spend a lot of time on the thumbnail, but also I thought the title was funny as well. You know, I was really proud of that title.
I don't remember the title.
The title was "Fixing a PS4 to Atone for My Sins."
Ah, okay.
And I just think that's funny. That's my kind of humor. But yeah. However, but at any rate,
my slime parts are in the mail. I liked that video.
Hey.
You and 7 other people are welcome.
Thanks, Casper. You are also welcome here. Anyway, so yeah. PS4 video. Yeah, I was really happy about that video, but no, didn't perform that well. Wasn't a bomb, but yeah, it just sort of like 24 hours out, I was just like, all right, that's fine. On to the next one, you know.
It didn't have the damage wasn't as egregious as I was expecting.
Yeah,
and
I think that might have been it, because I had a very clear vision of what that video was going to be before I even went and got the PS4 out of the back room. And I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. So I think that's the other thing, is that I edited the video with a very clear vision in mind, but the actual damage to the PS4 actually wasn't really that bad. I thought I was going to be running like 7 jumper wires on it. I've done worse than that on the channel. I've had like I did like an Xbox Series S where I did like half a dozen jumper wires on it, including signal wires that had to be trace length matched and stuff. So yeah. But yes.
I think also that just, to me, demonstrates how ridiculously far you've come, even if you don't possibly admit it sometimes.
Yes, I think. I think that's the other thing.
Because the fact that was a complete showstopper. Oh my God, I'm screwed. It's dead. What crimes have I done?
Yeah.
And then you looked at it and you just kind of went, oh,
that's not so bad. Yeah, that's the other thing.
I think that for me is, I think, a really nice part.
Yes, yeah. Like, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but as I said in the
video, you should.
Well, yeah. But you know, as I say in the video, you know, that is the very gratifying part, is coming back to that and looking at that, and just, I mean, I suppose that's kind of also makes it better in a way. Like we were saying, it's a shame it wasn't more damaged, but in a way, the fact that I looked at that, I was like, oh, that's no problem. That's 2 jumper wires and we're done.
Yeah.
But at the time when that happened, that was, that was, I remember when it happened, I was like, I'm fucked. I'm screwed. I've butchered this. This is done. I'm cooked, time to hit up eBay and try and find a cheap PS4 with a working board so I can swap this out and make good on this, without having to, So I suppose to that extent, the fact that it actually wasn't that bad is evidence that the fact that I now look at that today and was just like, oh, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is just people who watch these videos, people who watch the superstar repair guys doing wizardry and stuff like that, like, it's, again, without trying to pat myself on the back too much, people who watch the repair work but don't do the repair work themselves don't realize they haven't been on that journey of having to look at, of being paralyzed and going, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, to actually going, yeah, that's no problem,
Yeah.
So yeah, and likewise, I think a lot of repair gurus are so disconnected from their skill level that they will also, like, there were lots of comments on that video of people there were a bunch of people doing the "you fixed it wrong" comment, where people were just like, you should have soldered to the via, you should have done this, you should have done that, and I'm like, bitch, it worked. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And people are just like, oh, the wires were crossing over. You could have done that without crossing over the wires. I'm like, it works. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't lose sleep over those comments. But a lot, I think those people as well take for granted the skill level that they are clearly at,
Yeah.
and perhaps have forgotten that they too at one point probably would have looked at that and just balked at the idea of trying to fix that.
Yeah.
So yes. All right. Because speaking of war crime, I did a war crime on another laptop today. I didn't record the video of it because I war crimed this motherboard. But yeah, this HP.
I enjoy the fact that we've elevated from just doing crimes to we're doing war crimes.
This was a war crime.
What next? Is it going to be I did a Canada? It's not yet a war crime, but boy howdy it will be soon.
Ooh. So yeah, well I replaced some DC in MOSFETs that were part of a Type C. I think it was a Type C H bridge. It was like a network of 6 MOSFETs for 2 Type C inputs. And I think the MOSFETs are there because when you think about it, the Type C ports, if they're Thunderbolt, they're having to provide power in both directions. If you're charging over Type C, then the MOSFETs have got to find power through to the main power rail. But then also, if something is getting powered off of the Thunderbolt port, then you've got to power it in the opposite direction.
Oh, you don't mean that at the same time? Yes.
Yeah, not at the same time.
I was just like, at the same, what's going on?
So yeah, as I say, but two of the MOSFETs had gone nuclear on this thing, and basically, I took some MOSFETs off a very similar HP board that was in my scrap pile and just replaced the MOSFETs. Which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to replace all the MOSFETs and the drivers and stuff like that. And I was like sort of, am I going to do a video and just say, hey, you should probably replace all of these, but I'm just going to try doing these 2 and see what happens. But then also, like, when I was removing them, the MOSFETs were welded to the board and like the layers were slightly separating, and I was like, oh my god. And like I ended up picking it off with a knife and stuff like that, and I was like, and like I hit stop recording. I was like, no, we're done here, kind of thing. And I was like, but let's just replace them and see what happens, because this board is, this board is kill. Otherwise, it's an 8th gen i5. It's not worth the actual full treatment, kind of thing. And so I replaced them. I did start recording when I plugged it in, just in case it caught fire, because that would be funny. But it didn't catch fire, and it works. How long it'll last, I don't know. But I've said to the customer, look, this was a bit of a rough repair. See how you get on with it. If it breaks down again, come and talk to me. We'll see what we can do with it, So
but also, yeah, I sometimes feel like it's just like, maybe just tell the person, we have made it work, but you need to make your amends with replacing this imminently.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like that would be my position on a lot of this stuff, is just telling people that kind of, you've got out of jail this time, we fixed it, but you need to understand the fact that it now will have issues going forward.
Yeah.
Because even if it doesn't have issues, they're kind of prepared for it if it does.
Cool. Also, hello Slink. How goes? So yeah, a couple of other people are also going, I like the PS4 video. Thanks, folks. Appreciate you all. Cool. All right, so quickly, just scanning through the chat for some other stuff. Spectre says, is 12th gen Intel viable for a budget build? I would say, because the 12400 and the 12600, they were good, weren't they?
Yes.
They were solid CPUs.
13th gen is also...
yeah, again, for the
and 14th gen. It depends on
i5s.
whether you're willing to buy like second-hand eBay CPUs.
Yeah.
Test them, and then if they're dead on arrival, send them back.
Yeah. And also, just check how much other things would cost, because if you see a
I say that only because I saw like a 14900KF go on eBay for 200 and something £.
Yeah, if they're just fire sailing
and
that.
A 14900 KF for like 200 and something £. I'm like, yeah, or I'm spending £300 on something from AMD to be equivalent performance kind of thing. So it's like that price is a solidly good price.
Yeah. Beyond Toft says 1314 instability issues. Maybe. Again, it also depends on
just saying about you being willing to test them
and
see
willing
if
to
it's
roll
one of
that
the ones
dice.
that's
Yeah, because for some people
failed or not.
Yeah, for some people they might do that and be like, it's under warranty. If it fails, I'll just send it back. That's your dice to roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I would go 13th or 14th gen.
Yeah.
But also though, the i5s were fine, weren't they?
No, it was everything.
Oh,
it was
was it?
everything
Okay.
from integrated Celerons and Atoms
Oh,
all the way up to the i9.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it was just the high-profile chips that you hear more about, because no one cares if a Pentium went nuclear,
My Pentium exploded.
Good. I'm happy for you. Now you can buy something good, Yeah. All right. So...
Yeah, because it was also just a case of I was seeing some bundles where people had clearly upgraded from 13th gen, and they were selling off 13600s and 13700s plus board plus RAM for £300.
All right, yeah.
Or 330 quid. And I was just like, if you find bundles like that,
sure,
you're almost stupid not going for that as an option, because the price is just so low on some of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So to kick off today super quick, I've got all the bits from the £600 build that we spec'd up last week. I've got all the bits on hand now, and I'm just going to throw all those together just to bring that round full circle, and we'll waffle for a bit. I should have been doing this while we were waffling, but there it is. And then objective today is, as per the title, I've got someone came in during the week and said, I want to buy a PC, and after the back and forth, the budget is they've got £1,000 to spend, and it needs a monitor. So that's 100 quid off your budget straight away. So
about 115 quid for a 1080p gaming jobby.
Yeah, so call it £900. So basically, and I was like, can we do an AM5 system at 900? This feels like a really weird number, because it's too high for an AM4 system, but it's really pushing it for AM5.
In a way, I would also just look at, in reality, how much is a 5700 or 5800 X3D?
Yeah, the problem is though, just AM4's a dead end, and I'm like,
how many users upgrade their computer if they're going to someone to get it built for them?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, well, I guess we'll find out then. That's the thing.
Only because it also means, because haven't you got still? Didn't you have an AM4? Oh no, you sold your Strix board, didn't you? your AM4 stuff.
Yeah, I've sold off all of my
Yeah.
AM4 stuff. The irony is, I keep buying more AM4 stuff because I'm now building up these 500 and 600 pound systems because
Yeah.
in a shock to no one, I've started building computers which are in the price tag that my customers are actually looking to spend, and I'm selling them. You know.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah. So after saying like, nope, I'm getting rid of all my AM4 stuff. I'm done with AM4. I'm buying more AM4 stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Because I should shuffle my AM4 stuff around before it becomes, not particularly relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. Again, summertime is here, so the flies are out. All right.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
All right.
All you have to do is swap the pin.
Yeah, it's got to sort the fans out. So I'm just going to lean in and get the carpet tile. There you go. Carpet tile. There we go. All right. So the only change I'm making to this is I've got a 5600 to put in this. However, I've ordered. I bought some CPUs from AliExpress during the week, and one of them I bought was a 5600X. So when that shows up, I'm going to put the 5600X into this £600 computer, and I'm going to put the non-X that I've got right now into a £500 PC that I've also spec'd up this week, just to balance things out. I mean, the difference between them is negligible if my memory serves me.
Yeah, but it's also the case of even if it's only a £4 difference, if you have to find £100 of build cost,
Yeah,
you have to find £4 across every component.
exactly that. So yeah, just kind of doing that. Case is kind of slim for an ATX. Yeah, in fact, now I think about it, so
The
the
only issue with it is its depth, length.
yeah. Yeah.
Graphics card length.
Well, yeah, that's just it.
I had to do war crimes.
I was just saying to Caradog before we started, because Caradog was just like, oh, I kind of want one of the Team Rocket Radeon GPUs. And this is the one that I put in the XPG build that we did the week before last, I think it was.
Yeah.
But the 6700 XT that we bought last week, I've put that in the other one because it's a bigger card. And now I'm offering this one up in here. I'm like, actually, the one that we ordered last week wouldn't have fitted this case. Yeah. So it's a good thing I did that.
It's why I don't buy second-hand XFX graphics cards.
Yeah, because they're big long boys.
Too big. They are so oversized.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice big triple fan cooler, and like when I spun that one up just to burn test it and make sure it didn't explode, I was just like, wow, that's a nice quiet card because it's got a big triple fan cooler on it.
Yeah, but it's also a 180-watt graphics card.
Yeah. I value silence.
It needs to. It could get away with being a single slot and a 40mm fan. And the fan could spin at 600 RPM and it would still be cool.
Yeah. Right.
But yes, I did
Do you want
crimes.
to give us bench cam? Yeah, tell us about your...
And,
go to bench cam and tell us about your crimes.
So if you angle the case towards the camera, that front of the case, if you take out this strut here, you can then fit in longer graphics cards because they push ever so slightly into this space.
Oh my days, yeah. Fine. God. I don't like this case. It's fine. We're built.
I quite like it.
Yeah, we're building down to a price. This is the problem. Any complaints I have about this, it's just like, yeah, but also it's £30.
Yeah,
so just you're not going to beat this for 30 quid. You're going to have to spend like 50 or 60 pounds to get something that's actually better than this. So any complaints I have are just instantly quashed when you just say, yeah, but it's £30.
Yeah. Did you buy another one of those Orico SSDs?
Yeah, well, I bought two of them. Yes, I have one in stock, which I guess I'm putting in this now, actually. Yeah, and I think I ordered some more as well. So yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's £30 with 3 bad fans.
Yeah.
The fans are not good and are a detraction
Yeah.
Oraco's not about just another thick one, so it's just a cheap SSD that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. You know, we're building minimum viable gaming PCs here, where we're building glass cannons where all of the support components are minimum viable product, but we're putting 6700 XTs in these things. You know, most kids on their first gaming PC, they don't get 6700 XTs.
They get 1050 Ti's.
Yeah.
Still.
That's it.
Today, because that's what
Yeah.
Venoscorp is still selling.
Yeah, but if you want to build a glass cannon, then you put an Oracle SSD in it. So yeah. Molex, yeah. These are Molex fans, and it's fixed RGB, so it's just got coloured LEDs in it. Calling it RGB is kind of like calling your monitor RGB, because it can indeed display red, green, and blue.
Mine's WRGB.
Oh, whatever. Also, just as a side note, point of interest, last week when we were looking at this motherboard on eBay, we noticed that it had the provisions for Wi-Fi, but no actual Wi-Fi card. Am I on shot, just out of interest?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's got the bracket for Wi-Fi, and we were like, oh, could you put a Wi-Fi card in that? It doesn't have the slot up here, but it's got an M.2 designated Wi-Fi slot down here, so you could fit any laptop Wi-Fi card to there, but you'd have to find some antennas to put up here. So that's a thought. It would be extremely easy to stick a Wi-Fi card in that, but yeah, you'd have to find some antennas with a long wire to go down there. That's the bit that I'm not so sure. So you could definitely do something. I don't know where the Wi-Fi cards are.
Oh, they're here.
Yeah. So yeah, just as a side note, because that came up in conversation.
I'm just looking at how much stuff they give you with the kind of standard alley one.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's one of these ones. I can't remember which style it was, because there's two styles of these. Some of them have the really long, like, internal fly leads.
Yeah. So these are some desktop Wi-Fi cards we've got, and if I just quickly pop the, hang on a sec, let me get some pliers. If I just pop this quote-unquote heatsink off of the card, I say quote-unquote because this heatsink isn't actually contacting anything at all. It's purely for show. I'm surprised they bother, but I guess it just makes it look flashy and people buy the flashy looking product, so.
Yeah.
3 and 4. All right. Oh, thermal pad. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this desktop Wi-Fi card is just a laptop Wi-Fi card in an adapter. But sometimes with these, there's a little fly lead going to the antenna connectors. On this one, they've soldered it down to the board. But sometimes there's a little fly lead going to the antenna connectors. And if you had like enough slack on that, you might be able to butcher one of these and make it fit somehow, you know. But yeah, not going to work with this one. But that card, I could just pull that card out and just drop it directly onto the motherboard for integration. So blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Because that's a specifically labelled Wi-Fi port on the board, do you think it will also give you Bluetooth?
No.
Because obviously motherboards with built-in Wi-Fi have built-in Bluetooth from the same adapter. So if it's a dedicated Wi-Fi expansion port on the board designed for Wi-Fi,
yes, that's right.
Would it then also have the funny bodgy USB on it?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So this Wi-Fi card, it's got an extra connect here. That's a USB output that connects to a USB header for the Bluetooth, because you can't run the Bluetooth over the PCI Express connection because of reasons, I don't know why. And dedicated Wi-Fi ports on a laptop, the connector actually has extra pins to handle the Bluetooth. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but yeah, you've got to connect the USBs up over the PCI connector. So yeah, this being an M.2 Wi-Fi slot, it might have that provision. I don't know, is the answer to that. If we cared, we could test it out because like we could plug it into there and just find out, even if we don't have antennas for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, might as well.
Yeah, all right, yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's find out if it works. I'm curious because I guess that tells us a thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'll carry on taking this apart.
So I also want to chuck one of these Intel. Is that a BE200? That card.
Hold on, I'm just going to put this wretched thermal pad on the back of the heatsink. Not that it's doing anything at all.
Yeah, it's too damn thin.
Yeah. It's a BE200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth, blah, 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 and everything. This one. I wanted to see if I could chuck one of them in my X570S. Just because, the actual, cards are £7.
Yeah.
Or something like that off of AliExpress.
Yeah.
With the adapters and stuff, they're 15 to 20.
Yeah.
So it's buying a couple of those cards and upgrading boards and being technically has Wi-Fi 7 compatibility now.
Yeah, that's it. And having built-in Wi-Fi is just a kind of a useful thing to have because you don't need it until you do. And having built-in Bluetooth is also just handy sometimes, So, and considering it can be incredibly cheap to incorporate it sometimes, it's worth doing.
Yeah.
I think I don't exclusively go for motherboards with Wi-Fi on, but Wi-Fi is a big draw for me. If a motherboard has built-in Wi-Fi, that's just a thumbs. I'll pay an extra £10 for Wi-Fi. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I'm buying the motherboard.
Yeah.
Better to have it and not need it and all that.
Yeah, I'd absolutely pick it. It's certainly a case of, for that I'd always want at least Bluetooth built into my board because that's how I use my gamepad.
Yeah, I ended up buying the official Xbox controller Wi-Fi wireless adapter just because when I got mine I had bad Bluetooth. And bad Bluetooth is crap, and just the controller will just randomly not connect when you turn it on and stuff like that. But that only happened when I had NAF Bluetooth, Realtek or something like that. If you've got Intel Bluetooth, then no problem.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be.
On my days.
Certainly seems to have been fine for me. The only problem with it is you can't use the profiles on the Elite controller over Bluetooth for reasons I don't understand.
I thought that was built into the controller.
Yeah. So they won't let you set them up.
Oh yeah, you can't program them into the controller. Yeah, because you can't.
Dumb.
Because you can't do that over the wireless kit either.
I'm programming the controller to do controller things.
This is something that really hacks me off about the Xbox Elite controller. I have the Xbox Elite controller and the official Microsoft wireless adapter for it, and with that setup, I do not get battery level. And
you still don't have battery level.
I do not get battery level, and I cannot program profiles into the controller. I still have to plug in a cable to program things. And I'm like, I've got the official wireless adapter. Why can you still not do this?
Do you know the best thing is I probably get a better battery level experience then because I do get battery level over Bluetooth.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it only reports to the Bluetooth device page. It won't report out to Game Bar and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it will report to the Bluetooth devices page.
That's
so if you have the Bluetooth devices page, you can see a percentage charge.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah. Discord tips, you posted a Wi-Fi antenna. Oh yeah, let's have a look at that just for interest's sake, just so if people are looking at what we're up to here and being like, oh, I kind of like to try doing that. I've got that slot on my board. Yeah, I'm sure it's not difficult to find antennas. We just haven't looked, but yeah, just out of interest.
The chatpad keyboard will not work over Bluetooth either. Jesus wept, Microsoft. Come on.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what input lag is like over Bluetooth versus the 2.4 adapter.
I am too old to know.
Yeah. I have had.
Because I cannot tell the difference
I
between
have.
it being wired or Bluetooth.
Yeah, I have played games where me using a wireless gamepad has caused significant problems. This has mainly been when I've been using like emulators though, where like certain input issues are like a lot more sensitive, for example. But yeah. Even still though, you know, it would be even if I don't care, it would be interesting to know just so I could say authoritatively. Because, for example, if modern Bluetooth was just as good as 2.4 gigahertz, it would be, at this point, you could turn around and say, yeah, don't bother buying the wireless adapter. It's a waste of money, you know. So, yeah. 14, that's $14. Yeah, it's £10 or something, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Wi-Fi antenna with extension cables.
Yeah, that's PCI Express, but you could butcher that to fit to this adapt to this bracket we've got though. So yeah, that would work. Oops, I think these are metric screws. Yes.
Very good. Yeah, I just used the quote-unquote high-gain ones that come with the motherboards. So, but, you know, they're kind of, I would hope, kind of built in design together.
Yeah.
To function to at least some degree.
Yeah, I might have to test out the Bluetooth I've got on my current motherboard.
Yeah.
Because like. And mainly the reason why I say it, because like, I've already got the adapter, so it would beg the question, well, why would I not use that? But like, if I use the built-in Bluetooth, then it frees up a USB port on the back of my computer. So, you know, if it does work nicely, it's a case of, cool, I don't need that adapter anymore. It means that, you know, I can save that for another time.
I've certainly had exceedingly few issues with it.
Yeah. Right, that's that. Let's drop a CPU in there.
Yeah, I would say once a year, my Elite controller will stop being paired. Maybe once a year. So you go Bluetooth, find device, connect, and it just goes connected.
Yeah, like once in a blue moon, mine has a hissy fit with the official adapter as well.
Yeah.
Like incredibly rare, but it has done it, you know.
Yeah. And it's like, I was having an issue the other day and I couldn't work out why my controller would not connect to my computer.
Yeah.
Then I looked and for some reason Bluetooth just hadn't actually turned on that time when I booted the machine.
Yeah.
So I rebooted the machine so my Bluetooth devices actually existed and ta-da, it connected. And I was just like, well done.
I see.
How does your Bluetooth device just stop existing between reboots?
Yeah, again, I think it's because I think it is technically connecting over USB. So, like any other USB device, it can just become disconnected. But the problem is you can't exactly unplug it and plug it in again. So you reboot. Yeah.
So yeah. What's the max GPU that will work well with a Ryzen 7 5700X? I don't know. I would, assuming that you're playing it 1440p or higher, I would be reasonably content sticking any of the 16 gig GPUs in there.
Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be fine up to a flagship, and even then, you're going to need to be. You know, you're going to need to be doing controlled tests to notice it, kind of thing.
I would go no higher than a RX 9070 4080.
Yeah, that's what I would define as a flagship.
4070 Ti Super, whatever it was called.
Okay, yeah, so just
that. Yeah. You know, 50, 70 Ti. I wouldn't go higher than those.
Yeah.
Because if you've got the money to go higher than those, you really should have, in my opinion, the 5700X 3D, because you're talking about a 30% performance increase in CPU.
Yeah, those X3D chips are no joke.
So it's just kind of a case of, be gone. Yeah, if you're able to drop 1200 currency on a GPU, actually maybe upgrade from a 5-year-old CPU kind of thing beforehand.
I cannot.
So yeah. However, I would, definitely buy a 9070 or 9070 XT over the 5070 or 5070 Ti, because at least in the UK, they seem to be cheaper.
Yeah, what are the prices doing on that at the moment, and are they in stock?
I have seen them in stock this week at, this is 9070 XTs, at 660 and upwards.
Oh, that's not bad.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
They're selling on eBay for about 580, 590.
Wow.
Which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's very strange.
But there's like 1s and 2s.
Yeah. So, but fundamentally, they've come down to only just above MSRP then, because MSRP is £600.
550? Was it 550 and 600? I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So 600 for the XT.
Yeah, so it's 600 for the XT. Yeah.
So 660 and up. Like, I was expecting about 700. Like, don't get me wrong, it's bad because that's still £100 over what it's supposed to be. But in the current market, that's not horrifying. That's enough where you can be like, fine, it costs what it costs. And I think that card is worth that. I think the 9070 XT is worth £700. I'd love to pay £600 for it, but I don't think 700 is devastating, you know. Especially, as I say, considering what else is available right now. In a vacuum, it's kind of middling, but given that NVIDIA is just a hot mess right now, it's pretty good.
For less than 670, you can get the Sapphire Pulse, Power Color Reaper, Power Color Hellhound OC, or the XFX.
Yeah.
Whichever one that is.
Very good.
The XFX 97TMAQKW9.
I love it. Okay. Yeah.
The Quicksilver Magnetic Air. Ooh, in white. Ooh, the Magnetic Air in white for 670. Ooh.
That's a nice looking card. Yeah, it's
especially
rare.
if it's the white one.
I was about to say, it's rare to find white graphics cards that don't have the white tax on them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's take that out there, I think.
Yeah.
And do I need any of these accessory wires? Not yet. I'll need to plug in the fans somehow. I'm going to worry about that later. I'm probably going to do the fans off stream because I've got to sit and repin these sodding connectors, and I honestly cannot be asked to do that right now. I'm basically just roughly assembling this just because I've got to assemble it at some point, and if I get it mostly done, then I'll feel better.
Oh dear. Excuse me. Dying.
All right. It's going to go roughly like that. I will sort those out.
Don't mind me.
I'll sympathise because of my leg. I've had to relearn how to sneeze.
Ooh. Would you like a 6600 for £141?
A 6600 for 141.
XT. Oh, it's just sold. Damn
Never mind.
It was only because I saw a 6600 XT for £141 and I was suddenly just like, ooh. But yes, the other thing I'm quite interested in is the 7900 XTs. I've started seeing them popping up for like 470, 480.
For the 7900 XT?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because the 7800 XT is about 430, because I was looking at those today.
Oh, have you sold?
So yeah, that is very
If you haven't,
good.
I'm about to buy you. Oh, it's sold. Damn it. I just saw a listing for a 6700 XT for like £190, and I was just like, I'm about to buy
wow,
you.
yeah,
Oh, you've sold.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just to rip that guy's arm off.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem with the 6600 series is they don't come with more than 8 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
But also, for a £151 graphics card, 8 gigs of VRAM is acceptable.
Yeah, plus also, like, yeah, if you're building, like, £500, if you're building £500 with profit, or even sub £500 for some kid's first PC, and he's playing Fortnite at 1080p, 8 gigs is acceptable.
Wow.
Like, don't get me wrong, we don't want to buy 8 gig cards, but if you're building at a rock bottom price,
I think 8 gigs for 151 quid is acceptable.
Yeah.
Because £200 puts you onto 10 gig cards.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And also like 10 gigs, it's easy to look at 10 gigs and be like, oh, that's only 2 extra. But the weird thing is that when you look at if you look at like Hardware Unboxed at their reviews of is it the 5070 that has an 8 gig variant? Or
It's the 5060 Ti.
Yeah, the 5060 Ti with the 8 gig variant. When you look at the comparisons...
That's gone into the HDMI port.
Oh, balls. Okay, I'll fix that in a sec. When you look at the comparison of the 5060 Ti 8 gig versus 16 gig, the 16 gig card is trickling along at like 9 or 10 gigs of VRAM used.
Yeah.
And so it just shows that like 8 gig isn't enough, but you only need a little bit more for it to not be cataclysmic. Like, don't get me wrong.
For budget, for budget graphics cards, for £200 graphics cards, you only need a little bit more.
Yeah.
For anything that you're buying new, anything less than 16 gigabytes is not acceptable.
Yes, agreed.
Anything less than 16 is unacceptable and is not and should not be purchased new.
Yes.
At any price. End.
What the hell is this front panel?
Yeah. You know. And I cannot be convinced to be moved from that position.
Yeah.
Because
if you don't want it to just be instantly obsolete.
Because it's the fact, well, also just the fact of, I remember having this conversation back in 2013 when 8 gig graphics cards first came out. And people being like, oh my God, you'll never need 8 gigs of VRAM. And I'm like, well, guess what?
Yeah.
The requirements will go up because you've just got a new 1440p monitor, which is ultra high resolution. Guess what will come soon? Higher resolution monitors.
Yeah, and like affordable 4K, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
No rhyming intended, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting people to jump up to 4K soon, but, you know, for a long time...
Well, people can't jump up to 4K.
Because they don't have the horsepower.
Because the graphics cards to jump up to 4K start at £700.
Yeah. But, like,
the monitors start at 200.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say, you can buy 4K monitors for like £200 or £300, which, and like, that's quite affordable for a lot of mid-range people. Like, when I bought my 1440p monitors, I was paying like $370 per screen, and I bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, like 4K is it's not that far out of bounds. Right, I have
4K is super
made
cheap,
the rookie mistake,
basically.
so I need to just reseat the motherboard to fix that. Anything else that's wrong? No, it's just the HDMI.
If you ignore any other feature, you can buy a 4K 160Hz monitor delivered tomorrow for $280.
Wow, yeah.
And it's IPS.
Yeah.
Which is always handy.
Yeah, that's MSI as well, so it shouldn't be too bad. I would be a little bit I'm a little bit wary about just... For a long time, I've always trusted that if it's IPS, it won't be bad. But a friend of mine this week bought a Xiaomi 1440p monitor, and they said the store swapped it out last minute for a ever so slightly different model that was like 1 digit out in model number, and wasn't the one that they actually ordered. And apparently it looked garbage. The colors were terrible, and that also was apparently still an IPS. So, but also because it's Xiaomi, I'm just like, yeah. Do you reckon they calibrated it? I doubt it. You know, so I don't know. But
it's also the case of where did they actually buy it from?
No idea. They're US based.
Only because the Xiaomi brand is like the second most ripped off brand.
Interesting. Yeah. It was a US store. But...
I'm not saying that's the reason for it, but just a case of like when you see this Xiaomi brand on like AliExpress and eBay and stuff on products,
could well be a fake.
9 times out of 10 they're not actually products made by Xiaomi or labelled by Xiaomi. They're just using that name because it's a name that Western people have heard of as being Chinese.
Yeah. And because they make phones and stuff like that, it's vaguely recognisable, but also not so recognisable that people could spot a fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can get 1440p monitors for like 140 quid now.
Yeah. 5070 Ti price is currently ranged between 730 and 930 in the UK. Yeah, see that's the...
The extra £200 is for getting fisted by Nvidia.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. Buy AMD, folks. Vote with your wallets. Stop letting Nvidia get away with it. Nvidia are just taking the piss at this point. They are just taking the piss. Just stop it. Stop it. Don't buy an Nvidia. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. Right, I'm going to go and steal the RAM out of the YouTube rig because I was going to put that in this. And then I was going to put my shiny... I was going to put the shiny RAM in the YouTube rig. Just
No. It was the fact of I just looked at pricing, and you can buy a 5070.
Yeah, share the pricing with the chat while we're talking about it.
£652, or for £659 you can buy a 9070 XT.
Yeah, which presumably is going to curb stomp a 5070,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean,
because the 9070 XT is the same performance as a 5070 Ti.
Yeah.
Plus minus, a few percent here and there.
Yeah, and like also, in the new Doom game, the 9070 XT was punching up to the 5080, wasn't it?
I don't know which captures these are, so I'm going to go to studio mode first. Is the desktop capture actually the desktop capture? Yes, it is. Okay. Browser with chat. There we go. That's the one we want.
Right. We're going to do RAM crimes on this PC.
I'm now going to edge chat.
Right.
And then... Ooh.
Right, I'm stealing all of it. We're putting 4 modules in, baby.
Is this my old RAM?
I don't know. Let's see.
Is this the garbage 2666 stuff?
Yes, it's a 4x4. Oh, wow, it is a matching kit. It's a 4x4 gig kit. So yeah.
Hell yeah!
These are the kits that we tell people not to buy. Because,
that's like my first ever DDR4 RAM kit.
Yeah, and like the reason why I've never taken this out of the YouTube rig is when I put it in the YouTube rig, it took me about an hour to get it to post with this wretched kit in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's 2666. It's not that exotic.
I never had any problems on a 2700 with that.
Yeah, I could not get that wretched thing to post with this. I think I had to walk it up to 2666 or something like that.
That's hilarious. Yeah. What the fuck?
So yeah, good luck, everyone. All right, we can come back to bench cam now. I'm back here. I was basically just trying to make sure people weren't staring at an empty bench. But yeah.
Searching on Amazon, is the 5800X good? It's fine. Double check you're not getting rolled on pricing for the 5800X when the 5700X is functionally the same performance. But by MSRP was like $100 different, and they are 1 or 2% difference in performance. And also it's a case of second hand, you'll probably find a reasonably large difference because it's the second rate 8-core.
Yeah.
So you might find weirdly large discounts second hand on it.
And also make sure to have a look out for the 5700X3D as well, which is retailing on Amazon at $200 at the moment, but maybe you can find some deals if you look around. And the 5700X3D is the second best gaming CPU that'll go in that socket, with the 5800X3D being the best, but also the 5800X3D is going to cost you another £100 for another 5% performance, maybe. So, yeah, the 5700X3D, that's the one you really want. So if your budget can find one of those, then you're laughing, basically.
Yeah, 5700X3D, 200 quid. New.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon.
And again, I saw one on eBay today at 185, so you can scrape a bit off. I checked AliExpress, and I couldn't find any. Yeah, I couldn't find any on AliExpress. There were people selling them, but all of the shipping prices were like £200.
Oh, I see.
They were doing that game, and I'm like, what? So like, there's listings for them at crazy prices, like 115, 120. But then you look at the shipping price, and it's like,
that's
what?
got free shipping.
Yeah, it's 200 quid though.
Yeah, and that's 200 quid. Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, there are a couple of real ones on there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's dead.
Did your thermal paste arrive?
Not yet.
16 kilos.
Yeah, I have ordered it, but it has not arrived yet. I've still got this MX4 is still should get me through the week though. I don't know why I'm bothering to paste this because I'm going to take it out anyway, but or whatever.
Oh wow. Oh, did you fix your affiliate site stripe?
I don't know, but it's working. If you click get link, it will make a link. I haven't actually checked if it like works. You know, I don't know if I'm getting paid, but I can generate a link. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to now do.
Yeah, it's possible that it's accumulating some credit in a liquid account somewhere.
We're going to have to sign back into Chrome to end the stream because we're signed out of the stream.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Google.
Come on, get on there, you bastard.
So we have no control over the chat, which is what I'm just about to fix.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a sec. I'm going to have to just lean in front of the camera, everyone, to get this cooler to go on.
Do I? Have I? Yes.
Well, do you wanna?
Excellent.
Oh, crimes.
Please sign into Studio. Please sign into chat. Please sign into your life.
I was very unhappy. I tried to use Microsoft Clipchamp for the first time this week.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
So Microsoft Clipchamp is just a free like mini video editor. It's the modern replacement for Windows video editor, basically.
Okay.
And because I basically just wanted to splice two clips together and then export it again. And I was just like, oh, I'll use Clipchamp, see if that's any good. You have to sign into a Microsoft account to use it. And I'm like, what? I just want to splice two video clips together. Why do I have to sign into a Microsoft account to use this app? It's a free app. It's part of the Windows stuff. It's just, well, whatever. I was kind of annoyed by that.
No thanks.
All right. I think we're nearly there with this. Let's turn this around and stick a graphics card in it.
Any thoughts on a B580 being paired with a 7600X? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yes. Did he order paste like Canadian milk in a bag?
No.
No.
I ordered it by the tube.
By the 30-gram tube? Did you buy?
I can't remember. I did buy a bigger tube though because I've been using a lot of thermal paste recently. And also, like, what was it? GD90? Is it the stuff that we buy?
Yeah. Or 900.
Yeah, GD900. GD900 is really cheap as well. So I was just like, okay, sure, I'll buy the big tube.
Yes. Right.
Oh, I'm gonna have to Tetris this boy in here. That's gonna look really slick in there, actually.
Nope, that's not what I'm looking for.
Oh boy, I love unthreaded holes on cases. I'll just pilot this with a screw.
Ah, there we go. Right. How do I... Sorry, I'm looking at your affiliate program now.
All right. Can you get get chat down to the bottom just so I can back read a bit?
Sorry, yes, I accidentally scrolled up.
Clipchamp Basic is free, but most features are paid extras. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I just thought it was a nice free little video editor, but I hadn't actually looked at it. And then when I went to look at it this week, I found that it apparently is just not what I thought it was. I'm a bit sad about that.
Oh, apparently you have received a small amount of commission through some purchases. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I have linked stuff to like when I say to people, hey, you can buy this from here, I use the affiliate link. So because like I was like, I've no idea where this is going, but the worst is it's just going into a liquid account with AliExpress somewhere.
Withdrawals.
Because like they're always good for it. When you have affiliate links with people, at some point they'll email you and they'll say, hey, by the way, we've got like $90 for you. How do you want to get paid?
Woohoo! You have no data for your account balance.
Awesome. Okay then.
You have earned commission of no data.
AliExpress UK only? No, AliExpress is a China supplier. That's one of the really useful things about finding things on AliExpress is you can buy it from anywhere in the world. So sometimes I like linking people to AliExpress because I know that's a shop that they'll be able to purchase from whatever country they're in, except America, because lol.
But that's America's problem.
Indeed. Sorry, folks.
I mean, instead of AliExpress's is.
Yes.
Oh, would you like some 0.1mm cable copper solder?
Yeah, you can guess what I've been looking at recently.
Soldering wire, enameled notebook, motherboard, maintenance cable, wire assemblies for PCB, mobile phone.
I love that. I love books. Right.
I love that the first review is the soldering cable was a bit smaller than I expected. It's 0.1 millimeters.
Yeah. My guy. I don't know what. Yeah. Like, do you know how small? What is 0.1 millimeters? Is that
Very
100? Is that 100 micrometers or?
I thought a micrometer was a thing that did measuring.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's the next unit down? I don't know. Either way, it's pretty damn small.
Possibly micrometers. I don't know.
Yeah. Once you press the link, it says not available in this region. Oh, interesting. Okay. Did you paste a link into the chat?
I pasted a link for a random 5700.
Oh, I
X3D
see. Yeah.
Just because I was like,
yeah.
Random affiliate link. Does this work?
Fair. Cool.
You will not be able to share any links in the chat, irrespective of where they are, because as far as I'm aware, Google will eat them.
Yeah. I think it's possible. I think it's possible to allow links in chat, but it's a terrible idea because someone will just come in and spam up the chat with a hot underage girl cams or something horrifying. Cool. Right. I think that's a PC.
Ah, yes. I would love some Russian MX6.
Am I going to tie these cables back as a special treat? I may as well. I'm going to plug the fans in as well. They'll be loud, but I just want to basically just post-test this, and then we're going to move on and try and spec up this this PC. I'm not going to do anything fancy with these wires because
and then there was Sai, as he was summoned.
Ah. What summoned Sai?
Someone saying, "Let Sai post," and then someone said, "Sai's not here," and then Sai went, "Hello," as though he had been summoned.
Surprise. Right. He is risen.
Yes, but yeah, I assume it's because some items are weirdly not EU deliverable, but a UK deliverable. Just like some items are not UK deliverable, but are EU deliverable.
Whack.
And some items are Hong Kong deliverable, but not rest of world deliverable, and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember I was having this issue when I was looking at batteries on AliExpress. You couldn't order to like the US or the UK for batteries, but you could order from the Poland warehouse to Poland, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But like the Poland warehouse couldn't ship to anywhere but Poland. I was like, why would you open a warehouse in Poland just to ship to Poland? Unless it's not actually batteries that you're shipping.
Strange.
Yes.
Right, let's plug in the noisy fans. That goes in there. Rewire those some other time.
Would you like some UV glue so you can repair your cracked phone screen?
Oh. Weird.
New Loca UV glue optical clear adhesive UV glue cell phone repair tool for Huawei iPhone mobile phone touchscreen repair.
I mean, I guess that would stop the glass. I guess that would stop the glass from like coming apart and embedding itself in your fingers, kind of thing. If you can't afford to fix your phone.
Yeah, or maybe if it's like the like, you know, when you do the, not resin's the wrong word, but on car windscreens.
Yeah, like it's not going to make the crack go away, but it's a make good repair that is probably significantly cheaper than replacing the screen for many folks. Am I going to do the peel? Chat, should I do the peel?
No.
Oh.
Wait until it's sold. And then you can be like, look, it's fresh and pristine.
Yeah. Sound like that. Every now and then there's always that one commenter when I do a build video where it's just like, the customer should have gotten to do the peel. I'm like, okay.
I tried to build emotional buy-in by getting a kid to do a peel on a PC I built for him. I think it worked.
I see.
They were greatly enamoured with the PC afterwards. I was like, did it.
I think they're probably more enamoured because you built them a kick-ass gaming PC.
They weren't particularly fussed beforehand.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
The parents were incredibly impressed.
Yeah.
The kid was less so. And I was like, oh, but there's a peel you can do. Look at this big, sticky. And they were just like, oh!
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Emotional buy-in.
But then also, like, once you take the peel off and you've got that pristine glass and you get that... Because the shine off of the peel isn't the same as the shine off of the glass. So, like, once you take that off and you see it, it looks schmick. You know, you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks good. It's why I'm so much of a big deal for, like, whenever a PC is in, I always make a point of just cleaning up the case and really cleaning the glass side panel, because whenever computers come in for repair, they've always got just the glass is always dirty, and when you clean it again, it just looks brand new again. And this is the big deal. This is why tempered glass was such a big deal for computer cases, because you try and clean a plastic side panel and you will just scratch it to hell because it's made out of polystyrene, you know. Whereas tempered glass, it will actually look...
I'll have you know, it's finest high-quality smoked acrylic.
It's not acrylic. Like, my Cooler Master out the back, that's acrylic.
It's smoked acrylic.
No,
Which actually makes it a lot softer.
Yeah.
No, it does.
Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, that was something that we would possibly get to this week as well. Is there was a comment on the PS4 video. Do you want to go to bench face cam now, because I'm going to turn this thing on.
It's on face cam.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on bench cam. Doesn't matter. Anyway, there was a comment on the PS4 video. Someone saying, "Oh, I spotted that's a nice case you've got out there," because at the start of the PS4 video, you see my Cooler Master out the back. And
not again.
And I replied to it, and I was just like, fellow Cooler Master appreciator, because that case has popped up in a few other places recently. And I was just like, yeah, I've got one of those. You know, I've owned it since new, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of want to put something in it just so I can put it out as a display piece. And I need to decide what to actually do with it.
It's okay. You can put your Slot 1 Pentium build in it.
No. I don't know. Yeah.
With that Voodoo graphics card.
That's not period correct. No, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to do actually, if we're talking about doing a period build, then I should put like an Athlon XP in there. So I guess I could see if I could start working on an Athlon XP build, but...
To AliExpress.
Helps if you turn on the power supply.
Oh. Oh yeah, do English. You know those little like RGB hub doodads?
Yeah.
Did you ever actually get any?
No.
Very well.
Hey, it posted. There it is.
AMD Athlon XP. Ah, yes. I too do love my AMD Athlon XP ESP32 development board.
It's probably got more power.
None of these are the words I was searching for.
No. Have I got... What is the Athlon that I've got over here? What is this? There's this old thing that's been sitting around.
Oh, at least that's a CPU.
Yeah. Can you Google search a number for me?
Yes.
This is AXDA2400 DKV3C.
So D...
DKVC3. Sorry, 3C.
An Athlon XP
2400
Plus.
Oh, there you go then, yeah. Yeah, that's an Athlon XP then. I think this motherboard is Cactus.
Is that the 8-bit one?
Yeah. But yeah, I've got a CPU. Like, I'd love to be able to find an NF7S or something like that. Yeah. If I could find an NF7S to put that CPU in, that would be awesome. And I've got this Gamewood GPU.
Oh, it's got 3 slots.
What is
Oh.
this? And I've got a GeForce 4 Ti 4600 here, which is probably period correct as well. No idea if it works.
Oh, you could have up to 2 gigabytes of buffered DIMMs up to 400, or you could have 3 DIMMs at 266. Okay.
So yeah, like an Athlon XP build in the Cooler Master. That's possible. All right, this is doing something. We are getting a Windows loading screen at 2 FPS. Oh, there we go. It has loaded up.
Wow, it has
This thing
SATA.
doesn't feel happy. Yeah, that's what the S for NF7S stood for. This was the first generation with SATA on it.
It's also got 400 megahertz frontside bus support.
Yeah, the NF7 was NVIDIA's legendary chipset. The NF7S, this motherboard was fire. This thing was, yeah, this was no joke. This motherboard, this is the one you wanted back in the day. I owned 2 of these over time. I think one of them died, and I ended up with a different NF7 board, a different Enforce 2 board. But yeah, the 8-bit NF7S. This was a cracking motherboard. So yeah. All right, this computer is really, really upset. It is not running properly, and it keeps blue screening. I'm gonna restart and just drop into BIOS and just check if it's I'm just gonna set. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see what the RAM is doing. I don't think I'm gonna sit and troubleshoot this right now because I don't really want to. But yeah, right. It is seeing all the RAM, and the thing works. Oh yeah, B550. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. Save, change, and exit. Fine. I'll just see if that starts up. I'm not going to sit and troubleshoot this thing right now. I'm going to move on and start speccing up PCs and stuff. RAID switch. No, it is booting Windows, but Windows is just unstable. It's it's stability issues. Like the Windows loading spinner is stuttering and it spins and then goes and then spins a bit, and then it got as far as the login screen, and then I looked back and it had blue screened and gone to recovery mode and stuff. I'm like, the loading spinner is just frozen again, so there's something not right here. So yeah. But I mean, we might do some troubleshooting on it. That would be fun, I suppose. Yeah, okay. I'm going to use the bathroom super quick, and then we'll start specking up this computer, because that's something that I need to get done this stream. We need to find out if that can be built. Oh, you're looking at fatality boards. Oh, that's kind of funky.
Only because it came up.
Yeah.
But yeah, fatality FP-IN9 SLI.
Oh, LJ775 though.
Oh yeah. That was purely because it came up. I was just like, okay, but what does a Jonathan board get me? What does the Jonathan what was it, whatever his surname was, Windell?
I don't remember. Yeah.
What does the Jonathan edition give me? So yes.
Look for the EVGA Enforce boards. Were EVGA making boards back then?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
EVGA.
Right, this thing's a mess. I'm just going to turn it off. Right, I'm going to pop to the bathroom. I'll be right back, everyone.
Oh, EVGA Enforce 790i Ultra Motherboard 3-way SLI with Core 2 Extreme QX 6700. Ha! You know what? For 80 quid. Be gone, fly. Damn it, Si. Who let you in here? Also, I now realise where the glasses were, because I did look at OBS just to be like, is it muted? Do I need to mute it? And then they were there anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. Oh. Oh. Change the locks. What, and force Graham out of his own shop? This is no longer your shop. It's mine. I've usurped it. Taken over. You have been unshopped. Oh. No, change the locks to stop Si coming into chat. Oh, but we like Si here, don't we? We all like Si, right? Yes. I see. I have lockpicks. I'll get back in. Si is always prepared to do crimes for things, for reasons. Like is a strong word. Wow. Wow. Horror people. Yes, this is in here. What was it? The Deep Cool AG 200? I think that's what it's called. AK200, AG200, something along those lines. Si refuses to confirm or deny. I don't know what he's confirming or denying, but it's probably crimes. There is merch. Yes, that's broken. I'm going to whip out capture for a moment. See if we can't have some ideas. Do 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 do. Why do you do this? Why are you like this?
What are you doing?
Changing your UEFI firmware settings.
I see.
Huh. I didn't see you take your glasses off, so I muted the microphone just in case.
What did I come over here to get? I came over here to get that. And you're setting up capture already. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured we'd just put this straight into mem test before going any further, just because I have no idea if that RAM actually works. Like, the YouTube rig seems to have been pretty stable with it, but you never know.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I was going to, before we did that, go.
Capture with face. EVGA.
Load UEFI BIOS defaults. And then I was going to go.
Da, 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 da.
Are you still off the alcohol?
No. Yeah, I'd have a drink. Oh, sorry, I was trying to think when the last time I had amitriptyline was, but that
I
was...
thought you were going to say, I was trying to remember the last time when I had water was.
No. I'll have a cider, I think.
Excellent.
I was kind of thinking I kind of want to drink something. So yeah, because I have come to the conclusion that amitriptyline just is not doing anything at all, because... yeah, because, like, on Wednesday, I took 2 amitriptylines, didn't notice anything, and then on Thursday, I took 2 again, and same deal, just did not, like, with nothing, not taking anything else, it had just not touched the pain at all. So, like, again, we're talking about total dosage of 20 milligrams per day, which is not much, but considering I've been prescribed 2 to 3 a day, 2 is not doing anything at all. I've no reason to believe that 3 is going to either. So yeah, I've come to the conclusion that that I just seem to be completely immune to amitriptyline, and in the kind of doses that I've been prescribed it. So yeah, I didn't take. So because I didn't take any, I have not taken any amitriptyline in over 24 hours. So I should be good for alcohol. Therefore, I will have a Stowford Press. We've got a Honeys and a Honeys. Actually, I might have one. I'm going to have one of the Honeys. Use up the nice stuff. Are you drinking something?
No, I'm alright.
Okay. Are you just specifically trying to get me drunk then?
No. I was considering it and then changed my mind.
Very well. Well, I will.
I mean, not getting you drunk. I wasn't considering that.
I'm on citalopram, 30 milligrams. Yeah, what's that for? Because, yeah, amitriptyline... I've been prescribed amitriptyline for nerve pain. However, amitriptyline is also an antidepressant. However, when used as an antidepressant, it's typically administered in doses of more like 50 milligrams a day. 50 to 100 milligrams a day. And I've been prescribed 10 to 30. So I'm on a pretty low dosage of it. However, like my sister said that amitriptyline made her loopy kind of thing. So I was kind of expecting more out of it, but it just has had zero effect on me at all. So, yeah. Yeah, there you go. The drug is used off-label to treat chronic pain syndrome. Yeah. Have you felt happy? No. Which is not to say that I'm significantly depressed.
Womp, womp.
How could this happen? Oh, what's the sad violin music? Na 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 na. You know. Anyway. But yeah. I was given amitriptyline for trigeminal neuralgia. It can play havoc with your ability to think straight. Yeah, it didn't touch me. Like, again, maybe the dosage is just too small, but it's nothing. However, also it's a stimulant, and I'm not saying that I'm ADHD, but I tick a lot of the boxes, so antidepressants take 5 days to work. Yeah, no, I've been taking it for over a month.
We're not saying that you do, but
I don't like self-diagnosing, but I'm fairly sure I could I'm fairly sure I could tick a lot of the checks.
I'm pretty sure I could tickle a lot of the boxes. Tickle, tickle.
Okay. What are we doing? Right, we're
mem testing this.
Yeah.
Whilst talking about £500 computers.
Yeah. I'm going to start trying to talk about a £900 computer. I'm going to start trying to spec a £900 PC while we wait for this mem test to run through. I don't think it's going to find anything, but just whatever. We can leave that to run while we do that. Cool.
Oh, that's the other way round to the way round I thought it was.
I
thought the capture was on.
Oh,
I thought the capture was here.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to face cam because I'm probably going to cut to desktop capture anyway. So yeah. Okay. Right, let's see.
Tickling checks sounds like a hate crime. How's it a hate crime? Hello, Geneva.
Anyway,
you should buy one of them.
Hang on a sec. Let's go. So let's have some
browser. Top. By top I mean up, not lower.
I know. Right.
Too low.
Lower. Right. Enforce 790i Ultra motherboard. Yeah, that's with Core 2 Extreme. What are you suggesting that I just do an Intel build? It doesn't have to be an XP, yeah. And plus, like, a Core 2 Extreme would be pretty rad. And, like, when did the Core 2 Extreme come out? What period is that?
2007, I think, was that one.
Yeah. So it's not quite period correct to when I got the case, but it's still an old school build. That'd run XP really nicely, wouldn't it?
No, because it's got 4 cores.
You don't think so? Yeah.
No.
I mean, 2007, that's Vista era.
Yeah.
I guess I could run Vista on it.
I was on...
XP will work on it, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to me, I just don't see the point on running XP on anything that came out after dual cores existed.
Yeah, I merely say it just because, like, that would mean that this computer would have a practical application of being an XP rig.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking there, but... Oh, do you reckon it comes with the cooler as well? Because I'm a big fan of those Zalman coolers. That much being said, I've still got mine.
I've got one at home.
Yeah. I've got that, but in the nickel color. But I don't know. The copper looks kind of cool.
I'd love to.
The nickel would suit the rest of the board, though.
If we ever felt like we could actually like make hold downs that were strong enough, mod that into working on something slightly more modern.
Yeah. I wonder. I've no idea what the cooling capacity of this thing is. This is a hang on a sec. Bench cam, Intel. I got one of these. This was cooling my. My one of my old builds. My AMD FX build. So that's a Zalman. I think that's a CNPS 9900, 90 something hundred.
Oh, it wasn't stamped on the fins.
No, that'll be just the fan. But yeah.
No, on the fins.
Oh, I see.
I know there was stamping on the fins, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
If it was just
But
Zalman
still.
or the model.
Yeah, but this thing, that's one, two, that's three big heat pipes, with a lot of fins on it. So, you know, like, I don't know, that's got to be able to do 100 watts. That's got to be able to do 100, 120 watts easy.
Maybe.
That's a lot of metal there. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it would be cool if we could figure out how to build hold downs, though.
Because
we need to do some thinking at some point and just be like, okay, right, there must be some machine that we can buy in the maker community that can do basic metal stuff. You know, because we can't 3D print hold downs. 3D printing is just not strong enough for this. But like, there must be some kind of basic maker machine we can get that would unlock access to making metal mounts and brackets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the way you do it is with a CNC machine and 3mm alley.
Sure, but I'm not buying a CNC machine, you know.
It's okay. Well, maybe if you read your emails, there may just be someone who wants to give you a CNC
laser
machine.
cutter. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I just look up. You know. I tell you what, that much being said...
Do you know what JLC PCB does?
Was about to say I might be able to get it from JLC. So yeah, that's worth thinking about. So are we talking retro gaming? I don't know. We just got onto the topic of it. We're gonna spec a heckin' PC now. Browser with chat. However, yeah.
Not that specific one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a...
Well, no, because I've no idea if that's good value or not.
Neither do I, but like I do like the idea of getting like this EVGA board because it looks slick as hell. And like, as much as I like the idea of doing a retro build, I want something that looks cool. And unfortunately, old motherboards, the brown isn't cool, man. I'm sorry.
It's cool to people. It's cool to a certain subsection of men in their late 40s and early 50s.
Yeah, well, I get that that's what things look like and stuff like that, but black boards look cool. This looks cool, man. I want the EVGA board. That's cool, you know. What do I think of the Samsung Evo 990 NVMe drives? They're pretty good. Can't really go wrong with the Samsung. They're quite expensive, though. You find one at a decent price, sure. You know, but... I'm not willing to pay. I'm not willing to pay the premium for Samsung drives. Western Digital Black seem to be just as good a performance for better money. Okay, right. Another day. We'll keep an open mind about this stuff. I say, just immediately discarding all of the things.
No, my things.
Cool. Right. So.
Cheap AM5 motherboards.
Yes. Build parts. It's not going to bring up my thing. Nope. Okay, hold on. I just need to come off of capture a sec because I need to bring up sheets.
Sheets.
Build parts. I don't know why I didn't pick that up from history because we've had this open before, but whatever. Okay, right. So let's take the 700 build. Oh, it doesn't actually matter because none of these match anyway. And duplicate it. And we're going to call this, rename. And we're going to call this 900, I think. So, The customer is spending £1,000. However, we need to buy a monitor with it, and that's £100 off. So we've got 900 quid to spend on the
What
on
monitor
the tower.
have they specified?
Nothing. I did say we would be buying like a 1080p, like 1080p 24-inch. I was realistic, you know. So we can find something for 100 quid. So yeah. Okay, so let's clear this. Right, so I really want to make an AM5 PC. I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we can do it on this budget, but I want to try. So I'm going to put in a 7400F. Ryzen
The
7400F.
really?
Oh, 7500F, isn't it?
Well, no, there is a 7400F, but I was just like, okay.
Yeah, what did I buy? My orders. What did I buy? Yeah, 7400F, yeah. 7400F. For £953. Okay, the price has changed since I purchased it.
That's what they all say.
Yep. I did not pay 900 quid. Order total was, okay, £102 for an AM5 CPU. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Well, 7700 is 140 quid. We don't have the budget for that. Not for what we're trying to do here. So 7400F. Because the point of going AM5 here is it means that you can drop in a big boy CPU later on down the line. So yeah. So 7400F uses paste as thermal interface material. Again, the point is it's an AM5 CPU, and later on you can put a big CPU in there. Whereas if we go AM4, you're immediately just dead-ended into AM4. And like we might have to do that, and we might end up going like 5700X3D. Oof. But you cut 7700. We've got 900 quid, and I want to make money on this. Well, let's keep going, but you'll see 7700 not happening. Not happening. I'm calling it now. We're going to try, but 7700 is not happening. So 102. Let's start adding in the money, folks. Motherboard. Let's find a motherboard. So Amazon
B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi AM5 for £86.
B650. So hold on.
B650 Tomahawk.
B650. Let me just bash that in. Actually, Tomahawk. Oh wait, is it a Mag Tomahawk? Or
yeah, MSI Mag B650 Tomahawk.
170. It's not the cheap.
Yeah. No, 80 quid. Buy it now.
Oh, that's on eBay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to look at new prices first, and I'm going to look at new prices before we start going down that route, because I think, like, sure, if we start going with second-hand parts, we could probably start cranking up the spec, but I want to see what we can do with brand new parts first, because we're talking about it because the customer is spending £1,000, so I kind of want to buy them a new PC, not a refurbished PC, if that scans. So yeah, 7700 rig with a 6700 XT for 800. Not bad. I mean, yeah, I might be interested in that, Mike. It's not the point right now, but yeah, I might be interested in taking that off your hands, just because I can then just slap another £100 profit on that, and I'm done. So yeah, put a pin in that. Right, anyway. B650 motherboard. So, 130. There's a Prime for 110. $133. ASRock for 112. Alright, I like the B650 Eagle AX because it's got Wi-Fi on it and it's a good looking board. The Prime is pretty threadbare, but it will do the job.
What's the heatsink look like on that Prime? Oh, okay, no, it's not that one.
Yeah.
That's fine. Only because, collection only, in London, someone is selling a 7800X3D, an AM5 motherboard, and DDR5 RAM for £588.
I see.
And I was just like...
Well, they buy the
Okay.
wrong CPU or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you've got the CPU, the motherboard, and the RAM.
Well, 7800X3D doesn't go in a B650. Oh, no, 7800X3D. I misheard that as 5800X3D. I don't know how. Let's see. Gaming plus Wi-Fi? Let's have a look.
Oh, and an AIO.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah.
It's 147. It's more expensive.
So I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah. Right. Okay, I'm going to start with the Gigabyte board just because I like this motherboard. I really like the Gigabyte B650s. You know, this is a really... I like this motherboard and I like this series. I'm going to put this in as a start point. We can grind a bit of money off this, but let's start at 130 and see what we can do.
How much is the Aero G? If you scroll down a little bit.
Aero G. 232.
Wow. Okay.
That's a no from me, dog.
That's a lot.
Uh,
London guy picked up a new habit by the sound of it. Yes, indeed.
Eagle, B650 Eagle AX. There it is. Okay, right. So let's go in 130. Right, GPU. We'll come back to that in a sec. So we want 32 gig DDR5. Because, one more time, there's no planet where 16 gigs of DDR5 makes sense, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, yeah, the fractionally complicated answer on that is yes, you do not want less than 16 gigs per module.
Yeah. Right, let's see. 5600. Can we get some 6000? So, hypothetically...
You should be able to for about 80 quid.
Yeah, so we can get some Patriot 5600 for 60 quid. 4800, 52, 48, 48, 56, 48, 6000 CL36, 6000 CL36, CL40, oh my god, Corsair, 5200 CL40. I can count faster than that. 52, 56, 6400 CL36.
No, building a £900 PC with an £800 graphics card is not easy, indeed.
6000 doesn't say what it is. 5600. Come on, where's the 6000 CL30 stuff? There we go. Patriot Viper, £84. Okay, we'll start with this. This is where we're going to start scrubbing money off, but I'm going to put in what we would like first before we start dropping down to what we can afford. So what's that? That's £84. I think we're considering what I said about how like the 7700 wasn't going to happen. I'm kind of dreaming with some of these prices, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to cheap out on the SSD. Orico 1 terabyte, because we can cheap out on the SSD, is my reasoning there. Orico. Do you have a price comparison site in the UK? We do, but I like to look on Amazon and stuff like that, because the problem is when you use price comparison websites, you're going to end up ordering your computer from 5 different stores. And it's just nice if you can find all this stuff on Amazon and just do add to cart. That just streamlines my job a lot. So, yeah. So that's a start. Gamer World asks what it mean by CL like CL30. So these are the primary timings, and for DDR5, the primary timings are not super important. However, the reason why I look for 6000 CL30 is CL30 is a fairly aggressive CAS latency at 6000, and 6000 megatransfers is more or less your limit for an AM5 system without doing exotic things. And when you buy 6000 megatransfer CL30 RAM, like that's guaranteed Hynix or something, which is that
it's just guaranteed to not be super slow.
Yeah, it basically guarantees that the rest of it is going to be not terrible. It guarantees that you're not going to get crap RAM. So yeah, timings are complicated. There is no way of doing a 30,000 foot overview. However, 6000 CL30 is a very safe bet that will get you good memory, you know. And it's less than 10 nanoseconds first word latency as well. And what that means is it means that it is 10 nano first word latency is basically that's the time it takes for the RAM to start responding with data. And that's generally what the metric that people are looking for, is how many nanoseconds before the RAM starts spitting data back to the CPU. Because the first word latency is a product of mega transfers and all of the timings. So when your memory is 10 nanoseconds first word latency, that's considered to be good. If you can get below that, that's great. You're getting into high-speed memory at that point. But yeah, if you're getting 10 nanosecond first word latency, that means that the RAM is not crap, basically. So yeah. 6600 CL28 here. Hi. Yeah, that's pretty quick. But good luck getting that on AM5. So yes. Okay, right. Where's the cheap Oracle drives? How much are those going for? £42. Latency or latency? Ugh, I don't know. Right, 42 quid.
Gone.
£42.
That's my answer to that question.
PSU. So, PSU, what was the ones we were buying? CX650, I think. CX650? CX650, that's probably going to do us. £53. Might change that if we need to, but let's see how we go. Is there a 750?
Maybe, but also at that point you're doing a bronze 750 watt power supply.
Oh yeah, no, that's a hard no. Yeah.
I'm just like,
so £53 for a CX650. Again, I'm just kind of just filling this out at the moment.
In the nicest possible way, I'd rather have a GameMax Rainbow 850 at that point, because at least it's gold.
Yeah, how much is that going for right now?
No. If you're comparing the CX750.
Yeah, and the 750 that clocked in at like £80, I think. And
oh my god, no thanks.
Yeah, the 850 Rainbow is £85, and this is a known good power supply.
Or at least known not crap.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, like we've done very stupid things with the 1050 version of this power supply. So yeah.
Oh, turn the thing on.
Okay, right. What did I say? 53 quid. All right, cooling. Cooling is going to be some cheap air cooler, thermal. Right. I'm going to put that in as £16, I think, for a Assassin's Spirit.
You might want the bigger one. The like £20 one.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put in 20 quid just to cover ourselves. And case. Let's see. We want. So I wanted to put this in a nice case because they're paying £1,000 total. So
depends whether there's any budget.
Well, let's type it in and see what we can do. So hypothetically, Corsair frame 4000D, 70 quid.
Okay.
You know.
I say that only because I looked at the frame specifically like 3 days ago, and the cheapest one I could find was like 180 quid.
Oh yeah, no.
And I was just like, yeah, no. If that's where nice cases are right now,
yeah,
your options are terrible, terrible, or terrible.
Montec XR.
Schwarz.
Which one is it, Mike? Is it this one here? Oh yeah, Montec. There we go. That's kind of neat. Wow, 50 quid. That looks cool. Comes in black or white. Hey, that looks nice. I like it.
Yeah, on my limited experience of 2 total Montex cases, is the fans will be Molex.
Yeah, I think I've bought a Oh no, I haven't used a Montec before. It was the Deep Cool cheap cases that I was disappointed by. But yeah. And it's got front USB. Yeah. Okay.
Did I just throw the Intel lanyard away? I did.
Yeah, Mike, what are the fans like? Are the fans any good? Like, are they actually ARGB fans, or are they just some horrid Molex nonsense?
No, that's fine.
Fans are meh, apparently. What does meh mean? What does that mean? What are they? Like, I'm not expecting Corsair fans here, but are they the same as these wretched Antec things? Good fans on these PWM and ARGB.
Interesting.
Okay, see, like, Sai and Sleepwalker says they're shite, but Mike says they're PWM ARGB, which is good. So what are they? Mike is giving me a firm answer. Everyone else is saying vaguely crap. So what's the truth there? What actually are they? Because, like, for 50 quid, that's a very compelling thing. I didn't. You say average. Yeah. Won't last long. But I don't. What are they? I don't want your opinion. I want the spec. I didn't ask for your opinion. I asked what spec they were. Look in the other images. Let's see. Doesn't say. Anyone say? Don't know. It doesn't need to have a fan controller because the motherboard will have that. Okay, we'll come back to this. That looks very compelling. I kind of want to buy one of these anyway just to look at it because that's a very cool looking case, and at 50 quid that looks very cool. So yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay, so we can possibly get that down. Right, so we're at 500 quid on a budget of 900. So we've got 200 quid to spend on a graphics card, which ain't great.
Can probably stick a 6700 in that.
Yeah, we kind of want a 6700 XT for a £1,000 worth of computer. Well, with a 900 quid's worth of computer. Let's see if we can find. Okay, so we're going to be going second hand on the graphics card because that's just what it takes to get into these budgets. So 6700 XT. What can we get right now? So yeah, it looks like old reliable, definitely possible. Lowest price PMP. Arc B5. I don't want to risk an Arc. I don't want to risk it. Lose the case, use a cereal box. Fans for the 4000D. Yeah, that's worth noting. The 4000D isn't going to come with fans. Montec fans, ARGB and PWM, says on website. Thank you, Dave Bell. That's useful information. Yeah. Okay, well.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah, for 50.
At least that case actually comes with not crap ones because the Montec Air 3 or Air X3, something like that, was like a 60 quid case and came with Molex fans, and I was just like, wow.
That's the problem with cases in this budget, is it's kind of luck of the draw. But the other thing that's nice is apparently those intake fans are reverse bladed, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one of these anyway. I think just because I want to look at this case, because I want to see what this case is like IRL, because 50 quid for a good looking case like that's like a great builder's case. Like that's a case that would just be my go-to case for doing builds in, if that's as good as it looks.
Yeah.
So yeah, is the bottom section airflow? It looks it, yeah. That's a vented side panel. I mean, obviously, it's up to you if you put fans in the bottom or not. So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's mesh. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it as well because it's it's a fish tank case, but it's not too wide. Assuming that back fan is a 120. These are going to be 120s. So yeah. They also say that a 360mm AIO isn't going to fit. Yeah. It might go in at the top. It's not going to have the headroom, though. Yeah. But you could... Oh, that's going to be 240. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 360. You couldn't put a big water cooler in it. But... So, that would be its limitation. But I don't think I would need that. So, yeah. Fantex XT View copy case. Fantex XT View. Yeah, no kidding. But there are no original ideas. Yeah, pretty bang on the money there. However, it's half the price. So, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Sod it. Let's do that. I'm doing it. I'm gonna make an executive decision there. Montec XR. Let's do it. 50 quid. Because we need the budget at the moment. Because at the moment I'm about if I'm putting in 230 for a 6700 XT, we're making 180. Are you sure?
Yes. Because 900 less 711 is 189.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I can't count. When I looked in there just then, I was like, oh, we've got 200 left for the graphics card. Yeah, apparently no. Yeah, the actual budget is 1,000. So that's why I've put in 900. So I've already factored in 100 quid.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I think that. Well, I think it's counting all of the boxes.
I'm going to double check that.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I just want to sum. Yeah.
Here.
Huh.
Doing some quick maths.
Okay. All right, I stand corrected. So where are we going to add? So yeah, we could.
I feel a bit shitty putting a terabyte SSD in there, personally.
Yeah, but SSDs are easy to add in later. That's why I don't mind cheaping out on storage. But again,
Sure.
we can afford to bump it up. I'm kind of tempted to bump that up to a 7700
on
for an extra 40 quid. I think that's worth it.
Yeah, for me, my minimum is a single 2 terabyte drive now for anything, because a 2 terabyte drive is 70 quid.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
for a cheap one, or
yeah,
90 for a fancy one.
I would be happy with £100 profit. So we've got 90 quid of headroom right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can.
I'd also look for cheaper RAM, because I'm shocked at how expensive that RAM is. But maybe I'm just out of
Yeah,
touch.
well, that's just it. I'd love to see if we can get the GPU a bit higher as well, since we've got the headroom. But let's see what else we can do. So the 7700, that cost me £140 and 50 pence. I'm just going to call that 140. I can live with shaving off. Okay.
Memory.
And then
Filters.
let's say 2 terabyte SSD.
$6,000. 2x16. 2x24.
What's Kioxia? No prices.
Oh, wow. Okay, no. RAM's just gone up.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no store.
Amazon SSD stock seems bad at the moment. Yeah.
How long have
Okay.
you got to build this?
I said to the customer that I would I would come back to them with a quote on Tuesday.
Oh, I see.
And,
Okay, yeah,
and
that's fine.
I usually say to people 1 to 2 weeks. And that's factoring in everything. Like, by the time we've had a conversation and then I've ordered the parts and the parts will come into stock, then we've hit the weekend again, and then they've come to collect it. Like, 1 to 2 weeks to spec and build a PC is fine. Realistically, you're going to do it quicker than that, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking for a guide price on the SSD, and I'll find something at the last minute. Have we got this in 2 terabytes? No. Silicon power. Is that any good? Silicon power? WD blue? See what the WD blue looks like, because yeah.
Oops.
Terabyte. Have you got that in 2? £92.
The SanDisk SSD Plus is apparently 86 quid.
Is that gonna? That's a 2.5 inch though, isn't it?
Oh, it shows an M.2 in the picture.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's an SSD Plus here.
Yeah.
Have you got that in 2 terabytes?
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no.
that's the SanDisk website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
that's where I bought my last SSDs from. Was the SanDisk website. I bought. Can't remember what I bought.
Yeah.
An SN 680 or something. I can't remember.
Right. The Jupiter. That's 95.
The Oracle D10 is 90 quid.
Yeah, £70 seems very optimistic for 2 terabytes. Like, it sounded believable, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, the 07000's 90 quid.
Yeah, it looks like for 2 terabytes you're paying 90 quid at the moment.
Yeah.
Team Group.
I got a couple of deals off of eBay.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. When I actually place the order, I might have a look around on. Let's check eBay super quick. See what we can find there. M.2. And I want brand new. We're not buying second hand for an SSD. There's a thick what for 85 quid.
Yeah, which is basically the same price as Amazon, isn't it?
I didn't. It was 95 on Amazon, I think.
What's the one just above, the T500 for 78?
Yeah, what is the T500?
It's just that.
They don't have it. That's a shame. On the other hand, it's a Crucial, so it's not going to be awful, you know. Send you a monitor. Yeah, I'm not looking at monitors at the moment. Yeah, the monitor will be easy. I'll just buy something on Amazon at the last minute. How the hell is ThickWatt an actual product name? When Mike came in and said, buy this ThickWatt drive, and I was like, ha ha ha, that's going to be terrible, mate. I'll buy one. I bet I can make it cry. They're fine. Yeah, I've got one in the backup rig. Oh, that's got a Kioxia in it now, but I've used quite a few of those, the ThickWatt drives. And no matter how naff ThickWatt sounds, they're fine. They're fine. I'm not going to say they're good, but they're fine, you know. Let's see. Yeah, 2 terabytes for... You can find them at about 85 quid on eBay, but it looks like 95 is just the going rate. So, yeah, like... For 95 quid, I think we'll get the Crucial.
It looks like basically everyone has just gone out of stock of 2 terabyte drives.
Yeah.
Because everything I'm looking at has 2 terabytes is out of stock.
Mm.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah. I'm going to put in... So just...
Yeah, there we go.
What have you found?
ThickWatt, 2 terabyte, $76.95.
Where is that?
eBay.
Okay.
I will DM you the actual direct link because I did a lot of scrolling around for that one.
No, hang on a sec. Let me reopen Discord.
Oh my god, these links. And there were 743,000 characters in this link.
Mm.
And it's all approximately terrible. And I have a screw stuck in my screen. Be gone.
Concern. Right, I'll wait for you to DM me that.
Came off of this bench and there's magnets
Oh, I see,
in
yeah.
the phone in the
I was
case.
going to say, you sound remarkably unconcerned about your foldable phone right now, you know?
Well, being concerned about it is not going to change whether
Yeah.
there's a screw falling out of it or not.
2TV. Right, I'm just going to bash in 80 quid right now just for a sec. Right, that puts us at 113. Yes, Oran. It's
You
a
will have to
Pixel
deal
Fold.
with that link yourself because I can't edit it on mobile.
That's all right.
Just click on the
Oh my
beginning-
God.
Just click on the beginning blue bit because that's the real link.
All right, yeah. Caradog sending me a heckin' wall of text. There we go. Yeah. Tasty. All right, 77. Cool.
Boom. Pennies.
Well, this is the thing. I want to see if we can get the GPU up a notch.
What are we looking for?
So we've got a
What are we talking,
6700 XT.
6800?
Yeah, or what about like a 7700 XT or something like that?
I
Like,
thought you wanted more performance.
is it worse?
No. They're the same thing.
Is it just the same performance then?
Less than 5%.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it would just be nice to put something that's a sort of current gen graphics card in there. And 7000 series is current generation, with the 9070 XT being new generation, is how I would call things.
9060 XT should get released at
Yeah.
Computex at the end of the month. Well, sorry, on the 19th.
6800 XT. Let's see, what can we do? Huh? Oh, that's a 2080. Parts only, parts only. Are we on? Yeah, lowest price PB. Parts only, pre-owned. 3060. No. 6700. Okay, where are the results for what I actually searched for, eBay? Please, I'm begging you. None of these have 7800 XT in the title.
Oh my god, yeah, the
Just-
6700 XT's got pushing back up again.
Probably because a lot of people are buying them. It's
265
yeah.
is the average price I'm seeing here for a 6700.
No, they were at 240 when I was looking just then, I think. I'll check again and say. However, it looks like a 6800 you're looking at 300 quid plus. I'm not seeing any on eBay for sub 300 right now, so that's not going to happen. Intel GPU, unless there's an Intel GPU that can go toe to toe with a 6700 XT, and I don't think they can.
Oh. An obnoxiously sized
B580.
RX 6800 for £305.
Yeah.
Oh, collection only from Dundee.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just... I'm just looking up what the B580 can actually do, just so we can get a comparison. Let's see. So the B580, it comes in just shy of the 6700 XT. 6700 XT. Yeah, it comes in just below the 6700 XT. And how much is a B580 going to cost us? So retail B580,
Oh, I have a deal for you on
and
that.
like brand new, they're 300 quid. B580.
248.99 from Overclockers.
Yeah, secondhand 6700 XT is better then, because you're paying slightly less for more graphics card. Secondhand ones for 245, but again,
What?
for similar prices, you could get a 6700 XT, which is faster. So yeah, just no, it's slower than the 6700 XT and costs more. £230 for another Team Rocket card. B580 is getting better and better with each driver.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I was catching up with what you were saying. I couldn't work out
Yeah.
why 248.99 was worse than 300 and something you just said. But
Yeah.
I realised we were talking about two very different parts of the conversation.
Looking at it though, I think you're right. I think the prices are creeping up, and for that reason, I think actually used with some marks, LED plug has been soldered. Okay, I can live with that. That's a bit scuffed, but Yeah, someone's done a bodge repair, but that's fine. That's on the inside of the card. No one's going to see that. I might just snap this up before it goes because it's 230 quid. And I think you're right. The prices on these things are going up.
Yeah.
I'm buying that.
The cheapest I can...
I'm just buying that right now because that's going to go.
Yeah. There's 6,800 non-XTs for 310.
Maybe not for this customer, just because it's a bit scuffed for a new build. However, this is good bang for buck for a cheaper build. I'm buying this just because it's a good price. However, I agree. I'd like something that is in as new condition for this particular build, because this build is a new computer, so I want something that's actually shiny. However, that's a good price for a graphics card, so I'm buying that now just because it's a deal. However, yeah, I want something that looks a bit nicer than that for this customer. Sparkle B580 overclockers 260. Yeah.
But the 6700 is slightly faster and is slightly cheaper.
Let's see if we can find a 6700 XT in nice condition. Like here's a shiny looking MSI. What's this one look like? Ah, they've got no real pictures of it. Here is a completely different graphics card. Thanks.
Yeah, it's their logo.
Yeah,
that's GPU Hub's logo.
I bought from these are the guys that I bought the Team Rocket card that's in that PC from.
Oh, did they actually deliver it?
Yeah, why have you had bad experiences with them?
Oh, interesting. Then it's worth grabbing their cards off of AliExpress. Because their cards on AliExpress are very cheap. And I just assumed they were a scam farm.
No, yeah, that one came from GPU Hub. Yeah.
If that actually turned up, then...
Like, they didn't exactly clean it before they sold it. You know, that it came... that thing was in pretty... That was a bit shabby, that card. But it showed up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just backing up a little bit. Just as a quick side note, Sleepwalker said, to your knowledge, do Dell batteries continue to charge at 100% when plugged in, or do they stop charging? Any laptop battery will stop charging at 100%. So yeah. Okay, right. Because they don't have any actual pictures of this, I don't really want to buy it, because I want something that I know is in good shape. Parts only, pre-owned for a Power Color Hellhound. Have they got any real pictures of it? No, it's GPU Hub again. Same people, same people, same people. Oh my god, GPU Hub are just everywhere. That's a blower cooler, I don't want that. It's a Galaxy 3070 there.
Huh.
How does a 3070... Oh, it's an 8 gig card though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, it's
such a shame.
It was more just the fact I was just like, a Galaxy card.
Yeah.
What do we want? We want in...
My god, it's all GPU Hub. It's all them. It's the same seller again and again. Yeah, I'm beginning, like, I think you're right. There's no 6700 XTs at any reasonable price, and we're pushing into the 260s now. That B580 is starting to look like a better option. So yeah. If we were finding 6700 XTs at like 230, 240, that's what I'd be buying. But yeah, the price on them has just gone up. Here we go. Power Color Fighter 6700 XT, £260 plus 14 quid delivery. Okay, there's the first one that actually looks like it's in good condition. So yeah, it looks like you're looking at 270 quid for a 6700 XT now. And yeah, at that point, the B580 is a better choice. 6750 XT refresh? Sure, let's check that. Oh. Logic would dictate that will cost more, but sometimes the market doesn't work that way. it's the same bloody listings. eBay, please.
Huh.
What
Do you want a modular cable set for Corsair power supplies for £19? Just the baggie of all the cables.
Not bad, but I don't have any power supplies for that now.
The Type 3. I think it's the Type 3. Yeah, it looks like all the Type 3 flats.
There's a 6750 XT for 280 quid delivered. That's a good looking card. However, so yeah. That's not bad going. Hypothetically, what does our budget look like if we spent 280 quid on a graphics card? Whoops. That kind of wipes out our profit margin. If you were building yourself, I think that's a good. I think that's a good choice. But that kills our budget. So yeah, that GPU hub dismantling crypto mines. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Right. That B580 is starting to look a lot more attractive now. So. Was that overclockers you guys were saying? Overclockers.
Yeah.
B580. I said I didn't want to buy from lots of places, but like I don't mind getting a graphics card from somewhere else, you know. Sparkle Titan. Show me lowest price. 250 quid.
Yeah.
Tasty. Ah, it's pre-order. When? Will they have it in a week, a month, a year? I hate it when... I hate seeing this because it says pre-order. When?
Yeah.
Like, give me a time frame. I'm not going to hold you to the day, but like days, weeks, months. How long am I going to be waiting for that pre-order? 260, but it's in white. Yeah, okay. What do we look like on 260 for a B580? Yeah, it's 86 profit. And we still reckon we can probably find a little bit of money here and there. I don't think the cooler is going to cost 20 quid. I think that's going to be like £16. So that gets us up to 90. So we're kind of okay there. The 250 price has been on pre-order for 3 or more weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. White case was an extra £5. Yeah. For a 10 or more, you get the one next to it. Yeah, but again, we're eating into our profit margin at the moment. Every £10 more we spend is £10 less margin. Like, don't get me wrong, the limited edition is nice. Yeah, it's a couple of quid for Windows as well. Stick the 7500F and tell him you don't like him much. Yeah.
Well, it's also just a case of being realistic about what's available.
Yeah, also Sai just said you'll lose 1750 that profit because of credit card machine, which is worth remembering as well. You know, they're going to come in and pay by credit card, and there's overheads on taking the credit card payments. So, yeah. So that's also worth bearing in mind. Yeah, if we drop to the 7400F, that would solve this problem. Turnip says, at least get 100 quid profit, mate. How? Yeah, we're going to have to drop something. We're going to... 1 terabyte SSD again. I'm kind of tempted to agree. I would put in a 1 terabyte SSD. Like, don't get me wrong, I agree with you about 2 terabytes being minimum, but 1 terabyte will get you by, and it's cheap and easy for the customer to add in more storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, what if we drop back down to a 1 terabyte? Let's say we put in a 1 terabyte SSD again, which brings us down to like, it was £46, I think, for that. that solves our problem. We're up to 117 profit again. And now we can put in basically any graphics card we want. We could put in the 580 or the 6750 XT. Adding storage is better than having to replace a weak CPU or GPU. I agree. Yeah. You ask for cash. I don't want to play those games. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes customers will say, like, oh, you know, do you want to do a bank transfer or something like that? And I'm like, yeah, sure thing. Let's do it. But it always feels a bit gross when you say to the customer, would you mind doing a bank transfer on this? You know, it just
depends what the value is.
You know, yeah. It depends.
I aggressively push people into bank transfers for transactions between, you know,
yeah, but you're not a brick and mortar. Yeah,
between...
but you're not a brick and mortar store, though.
No.
You know.
But I push people away from card payments for stuff that's £100.
Yeah. Yeah, if the customer went elsewhere, they'd be lucky to get 1 terabyte. Yeah, I kind of agree there. Okay, so yeah, we're going 1 terabyte because that saves the CPU. So now the question is 6750 XT versus B580. The B580 would be a brand new card, and that would be tasty considering everything else is brand new. And like, you know, do we believe in Battle Mage? We've had this. This came up the other day, last week I think, when we were speccing a PC. But you know, do we believe in Battle Mage? I think we do at this point. Alchemist was really Alchemist was a real sketchy game, but Battle Mage has been pretty good so far. What's a PC World spec for 900 quid? Oh, let's play that game while Caradog ponders. Curry's PC. I don't know what their website is. All right, gaming desktops. MSI Mag, so 1100 quid. 1100 quid gets you a 1440F, 1 terabyte SSD, and a 4068 gig. Where's the 4068 gig come in? 4060. It's comparable.
Yeah, it's just an 8 gig instead of a 12 gig.
But it's 8 gigs, yeah. So this, the first hit here, this is comparable to what we're building. However,
just £200 more.
But yeah, it costs £200 more, and it's an 8 gig graphics card, which is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can throw. Yeah. Are you going to scroll to like 900 just to see what that?
Well, I was just going to see what parts cost of about 800 to 900 started giving you.
Yeah, oh my days, they're still selling 5500s.
Yeah, with
3058 gig. Oh my days.
Yeah.
Luckily, what is that? It's out of stock. Thank God, no one can buy this.
Yeah.
That's daylight robbery. That's horrendous. Okay, that's probably an old listing or something like that. Okay, 900 quid Lenovo, 3050 GTFO. Mediona Razer, 4060, 8 gig, 4400F, £900.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's better bang for buck. So yeah, however, 4068 gig, bad graphics card, do not buy. So yeah.
Yeah, PC specialists are just scam artists.
And also again, 14400F, I mean, it's not a dead end because you could drop an i7 or an i9 into it later on, but it's not going to have the same staying power as AM5. And I know people say no one upgrades their PC, but I think it's a good guy. I think it's very good practice to try and build someone's PC with upgradability in mind.
Depends on what it costs the end consumer. Because if upgradability in mind means it's £400 more for no additional performance.
Yeah, board will be cheese. That's true. Yeah.
It's a complete waste of money, in my opinion.
Okay, so that's 270 for a ARC B580. I kind of like that, actually. I think I might go with that, because that gets them all new parts.
It depends on what the performance is in Minecraft and Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, B580 ref, it's slower than a 6700 XT by like 10 FPS.
Yeah, but it matters what its performance is in Fortnite and Minecraft, because that's what it's going to be played in. And if in Fortnite it can only do 17 FPS because the drivers are broken,
yeah,
they're going to come back to you in 2 days and say this PC performs like crap. Why did you sell us a lemon?
Yeah, 3070 is cheapish on eBay. 8 gigs of VRAM.
And is slower, isn't it, than a 6700?
Yeah, it is it's comparable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, it's comparable. However, 8 gigs of
was
VRAM.
slower. Yeah.
B580 is good on Fortnite right now. Yeah, and obviously,
Cool.
according to Mike, it is. Yeah.
Then that's absolutely fine.
Trust you on that one. Yeah.
It was just a case of obviously if it was completely broken.
Yeah. Search for a monitor. Okay, we'll have a look at monitors in just a sec. I don't super care about the monitor because I'm literally going to sort by price and buy the one that costs 100 quid. But sure. Drivers are much better now, and also, you know, the drivers for the drivers for Arc have improved over time. Intel have.
Oh yeah, but it was just a case of obviously. My point was if it was completely broken in Fortnite and Minecraft, you can't sell it.
Yeah, for reals.
Because that's the first two things they're going to try and play on it.
Yeah. Let's see. Resident Evil ray tracing. B580.
It should be a smidgen faster than the...
It's slightly slower than 6700 XT again. But again, it's, you know...
Oh, interesting.
It's doing all right. It's doing all right, yeah. Yeah, like Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty ray tracing medium. It's going toe-to-toe with the 7700 XT.
Oh yeah, that's more what I was expecting.
And again, this is on release drivers.
Oh, there you go. The spinner's spinning.
Yeah, I'll ask you about how you're getting on with that in a moment. But yeah, Marvel Rivals is popular too. Yeah, esports, it's going to be fine. I've got no concern about esports, to be honest.
Yeah. My concern was just if the drivers are
as long as it's not broken.
That game.
Yeah. To my knowledge, though.
Do you have batteries that are charged?
Yes.
You've done the special treat of actually charging them.
Yeah, I did charge my batteries.
Excellent. Can you charge these ones?
Yes. Hold out your other hand. Thank you. Before I immediately put them down and you tell me, and you call me an idiot. Oh, don't have a micro. I'll plug those in later. Okay, right. Right. Adam Williams says, my Minecraft plays daughter. My Minecraft plays daughter on a B570 at 1440p, no issues. Cool.
Yeah.
Not broken then, yeah. V8. No, you can get IPS for 100 quid these days.
Yeah.
Which
I
think
would
that's
just
it.
go
That's the
PC part
spec.
picker monitors.
I'm going to go...
120
right. Let's see.
minimum, and that's how I pick
1080.
gaming monitors.
1080p IPS. 90 quid, 180
Oh, yeah,
hertz.
there you go.
Bam. This is why I didn't care about the monitor, because this was you know. Right. However, Mike sent me a message. I'm just going to check what Mike's one looks like. 109 quid. And that gets you an MSI Mag, so that 27-inch. 27-inch 1080p. Ooh,
That's a non-starter for
yeah,
me.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a non-starter
Yeah,
for me.
because the problem is that like 24-inch 1080p, it's the same resolution. However, 1080p at 27 inches looks bad. You don't mind 1080p at 24 inches.
Yeah.
However, this monitor that I'm looking at right now, this is a 27-inch 1080p. And every day I look at it, I'm like, wow, this monitor is terrible.
Yeah,
You
we
know.
need to work out how we're going to fit that on there
Yeah.
and just put a 4K on there.
Should we just put it vertical and just YOLO?
Actually, legitimately, we'll
Yeah?
swap it over right now and then ask people if they think it looks awful.
Well, oh, I see. Well, like, does it stick into the frame
Yeah.
too much? Oh my days. Okay, hold on. Right, hold your thoughts, everyone. Hold your thoughts. We're swapping the monitor right now, live.
Live.
This Sunday. Okay. Right, hold on. Someone put all of this shit here. Right.
Why is there all this junk in my shop?
Alright, see you in a minute, folks. No, we can't. We'll be hiding behind it. Let me find... is there a kettle plugged in? No, it's
Into the monitor, yes.
Oh, okay, you've done that. Yeah, that's fine. God, that looks good. Oh no, is OBS going to freak out? Oh yeah, OBS is going to freak out. Right, hold on. You know what? I don't even care. I want to make this work because I'm sick and tired of that. You're going to change the scaling?
I'm just going to make sure that this is 4K.
My God, that's at 150. No. 4K 100% scaling is silly. I will not. Stop it.
What do you mean?
Stop it.
I don't know what your problem is.
Stop it. 4K 100% scaling is silly and I will not have it. Die. Would like to be able to read text.
But I am silly.
Your opinion is oh my days. What is this, Brooke? Gamer.
Just swap the face cam whilst we fix it.
All right, hold on. Caradog plus.
But see, you can't even tell. Like, you can't even see it.
That's possible, yeah. Like the other one was sticking out a bit.
And also,
wasn't
do you know the other thing as well is look how we've got colours.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I told, like, literally, I just said this Acer monitor is wank and I hate it. This is why I don't want to buy someone a 27-inch 1080p monitor. They're bad and I hate them. Okay, right. Hold on. Now I've got to fix this.
It's okay. Now we can stream in 4K.
Right. Let's fix this. Unlock this source. Right. Chrome, transform, reset transform.
And then just snap it.
Fit to screen. Hold on.
Control F.
Yeah, I don't know the shortcuts. And then I will do that. Oh, is this 16 by 9? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Looks the chat's a funny size.
There we go. There's that. I'll lock that off. Then Edge chat.
Just going to Control F.
And yeah, we'll Control F that, and then I will drag that in as well. Yeah, I think I had some overlap on this, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's good enough, yeah. Yeah, that's possible. Oh, actually, hang on a sec. I'm just going to make that match the size of the face cam. Oh, my days. Oh, no. The face cam has changed size. Oh.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I wouldn't bother fiddling this because we're going to change to a 4K tile.
Oh, okay. We're not going to do that right now, but
no,
yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't bother over fiddling this.
Okay, yeah. You can do that. I can't be asked because I don't care about streaming in 4K. However, if you want to do it because you want to play with the setup.
I'm going to go.
Oh, don't do it.
Scene selection and then select the items that don't exist.
OBS is freaking out because we changed resolution midstream. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. We were looking at monitors. Right.
See, now you can have two items on screen at the same time. Thanks, Amazon.
We'll in the Discord, in the discussion ideas, people wanted to talk about enshittification. We are at, how is there
It's okay. Focus. I have a solution.
Okay, right. So, LG Ultra Gear looks tasty. BenQ, 100 Hertz for 65 quid. Holy crap. However, So, like, this looks like a really good deal, this. However, I kind of prefer to sell them the LG Ultra Gear because that actually gets them, like, it's 180 hertz, and also, like, it's an LG Ultra Gear, so you know it's not going to be crap. So
we had one of them. One of those LG Ultra Gears. Yeah, I think so. And I sold it to a kid.
Yeah, fair enough. No. LG monitor, that's their cheap ones.
There's the SSD.
No. Asus, 27-inch 1080p, no.
No. None of this.
Blah, blah, blah. 22-inch. ViewSonic, 32-inch 1080p. Oh my days.
You know what? You get to a point where it's just like, now it's just a TV.
Yeah.
I guarantee that monitor is excellent for your over 80s customers.
Yeah, unironically. Yeah. If you're a competitive or serious gamer using 1080p lowest settings, yeah. However, I don't believe in selling someone a monitor that I know is going to look like shit.
Yeah.
Regardless, like, even if they're going to crank down their settings, I've got friends who play every game on minimum graphics settings on principle, and I tell them they're wrong. However, I will not sell someone something like that. Blah, 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 blah. We're up to 170 quid now. That LG Ultra Gear is looking real tasty right now. It's also on sale. Tech Week deal. Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer to me. 90 quid for a monitor. Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to quickly back read the chat. How good is the BenQ one? Let's just open that for posterity. The BenQ. Yeah, see the BenQ, 65 quid, 100 hertz, full HD IPS. So, apparently I bought one of these.
When? Oh.
August 24, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work, and for 65 quid, like, who cares for 65 quid? You know. However, for this customer, I'm gonna buy them the LG, but hypothetically, like, I'm not gonna tell you that this is a good monitor, but it's 100 hertz IPS for 65 quid. And because it's BenQ, it's not going to have dead pixels on it. I
mean, we have zero evidence of that.
True. I mean, if you bought like this Kudui, that's probably going to have dead pixels.
Maybe.
But the BenQ, I don't think so.
But also, it's Amazon.
Yeah, so you just send it back anyway. But yeah. Yeah. I'm going to buy them the Ultra Gear. That's a good looking monitor. You know, this is that's a great monitor for this build, because the next step up, because of course when you're speccing a computer, it begs the question, okay, if what's the next level up cost then? Okay, so the next level up is going to be 1440p. 1440p IPS. 27-inch 1440p.
Oh yeah.
180 hertz, MSI, 125% coverage. So yeah, £160. 150 quid for the Lenovo Legion.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So yeah. I'd love, if you were building this yourself, I would say buy this. If you were building it, like if you're looking at this stream going, I'm going to build that computer for me, kind of thing, I would buy that. I would spend an extra 50 quid and get that monitor. However, our budget can't take that. So like, yeah, if let's bump this up to $1,000 and include the monitor. Whoops. So insert row, monitor. So if we put in 150 quid for the screen, and let's just adjust this, all of that. Yeah, that wipes out the profit. We're down to £57. By the time they've paid on a card, I'm down to sub £50 profit, and I'm not getting out of bed for that. However, if you were building this yourself, that's a lot of PC for 950 quid. So yeah, curveball question: does the monitor have height adjustment? The LG Ultra, I'll be amazed if this doesn't have height adjustment. That looks like it does to me. Let's have a look. Does it say? Yeah, it's got height adjustment on it, which is always a bonus to me. I'm really glad that height adjustment is just a thing now.
On an awful lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's not a guaranteed thing, but most stuff has height adjustment these days.
But also, most stuff doesn't go high enough, in my opinion.
No, but it's a start. But that was one of the things that we liked.
It's also just a case of...
Yeah, but like, that was something we really liked about the ViewSonic.
It's an old sticky stand, but the fact that you can go from that...
Yeah, I like the height though.
All the way up there.
Yeah. Height adjustment is a requirement, not a plus. So I agree with your sentiment, AJ. However, again, when you're building down to a cost, needs must, I will sacrifice height adjustment to get into budget, but I like it when there's height adjustment. So yeah. And it has VESA for an even clean look. Yeah, you've got to be buying a pretty crap monitor to not have VESA. VESA. But yeah, whatever. Anyway. Okay, so yeah. What was the LG Ultra Gear? This was £91.
What's that beige box that you scroll past?
Frequently returned item.
Interesting.
Check the product details and customer reviews. Let's have a look, folks. So firstly, it's great. Doesn't have internal speaker. It's a gaming monitor. What the hell are you using speakers on a gaming monitor for?
Well, no, it's
you
a
idiot.
computer monitor. Why are you using...
well, you know, if it's a desktop for office work and stuff like that, having speakers on a monitor is reasonable if you just need to hear desktop noises and stuff like that.
I guess.
You know, like I'm not saying I approve of it, but I understand it, you know. Bad service from LG, it broke. Okay, fine. Let's look at 1-star reviews.
For some reason, they spent $200 getting it repaired.
Yeah, worst experience from Amazon. I've received the product in defective state. Sure, fine. Okay, there's going to be some people who get a bad one. So, yeah. 2-star reviews? Nothing. 3-star reviews? Nothing. 4-star reviews. Doesn't have internal speaker. The stand is too chunky. Really? Are you sure? Okay. Stand too chunky. Hold on. Mr. Int. Are you sure? Okay. Decent money went on sale. Yeah. I'm not... Yeah, I don't think I'd pay 144 quid for this monitor, so that's understandable. Good monitor, but isn't 24-inch. The monitor is 21-inch, not 24. Mr. IDK, I think you're an idiot. I'm going to look closer. It says it's 24-inch. 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 I think maybe he clicked on the wrong option. So yeah, I think that guy's an idiot. So yeah. Weird that it's got frequently returned item on it. However, the reviews...
Based on the reviews, it's entirely acceptable.
Yeah. This is the thing. My litmus test for reviews, I don't really care about the 5-star reviews. I care about what the negative reviews are and if the negative reviewers are idiots or not. Because when you read if you read the 1-star review and the 1-star review is it arrived late, then you know that the product probably isn't the problem.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sai says 24-inch is about 21-inch left to right. So yeah, it's an idiot who's measuring across, not diagonal.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So yeah, there's a 27-inch there. Yeah, what's the 27? So that's £112, but again, it's 1080p. 1080p at 27-inch, it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. I know I have one next to me. It's the one that we use on stream until about 5 minutes ago. So yeah. So no, I'm buying the 24-inch. I would rather buy them a good 24-inch than a bad 27-inch. It's also worth noting that this is some kid's first PC. He's putting this in a bedroom. Not everyone's got a big desk where they can have big old monitors. So yeah. Look at the stand side on. It's chunky. Ah, yeah, okay. I kind of get what you're saying there. That looks like it sticks out the back a reasonable amount. However, that also means it's going to be stable. I think the actual...
Strong
yeah.
and stable.
Do you want to come in doing the stupid conservative waddle as well? Sorry, that was a very obscure joke. Oh, okay. All right. When you look at it from that side, I kind of see what they're saying.
Gamer.
Yeah. All right. I take it back. That's a chunky boy stand. Yeah. Okay. I take it back. However, I don't think that is actually increasing the desk footprint in a meaningful way. Room for a subwoofer. Yeah. I don't care. I think the monitor, I think it's fine. I think that's a reasonable compromise.
Yeah.
Also, I would hope that a stand that chunky is actually going to be pretty stable. And that's a problem that I've had with LG monitors in the past. In the old days, LG monitors had really naff stands. And if you poke them, they wobble, which is very annoying. So, yeah. Yeah, I think we're a success. I think so too. I think that's a good buy. So, what was our final price? £91.
I think that's a good buy. A good buy from him and a good buy from me. End stream.
Yeah.
What?
What's the timer on? We're at 2 hours 46 minutes. So, okay, right. That wraps up our build specking scheme.
Schemes.
Yes, I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna get some links to all of this stuff. Let's clear this and just go. I need to bash in some links so I can reopen this stuff because I've got to talk to the customer first. Right.
I'm going to get myself affiliate links.
Giggle my bite. Ryzen 7700. That's already on order. B580. Yeah, we're going. Not a huge fan about having to buy that from overclockers, but they've got the good price, so I'll give it to them. Oh yeah, the RAM. Are we going to do anything else with the RAM?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a better price.
Yeah.
Balls. I've 6000 CL30. Where's that Patriot stuff gone? Did you see it?
Yeah, I think you've just come past it. Keep going.
I was looking for the red tipped heat sinks.
Was it that one? Yeah, it was that one.
Huh.
Because it was £85, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's not the one we were looking at, but it's still the right spec, so sure, I'll take it. It's not on Prime.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because that's the US import of it.
Yeah. Hang on a sec.
I was going to say copy and paste the name.
Prime. Hang on a sec. I'll sort it by. If I sort it by price, we're just going to get nonsense results because no one knows how to make a search engine anymore. Where the hell is that?
Does this password start with an L?
Yes. Where the hell is that Patriot RAM
Good.
gone?
This works fine. I have not. I have not broken your computer.
What have you done to it?
Nothing.
Were you swapping the SSDs around? Because
Yes.
I think I was going to...
Nothing.
Patriots.
Do not worry. There is no cause for concern.
Where's my memory gone?
What's that? What's that?
Okay, I'm just going to go back to the original search. So 32 gig, DDR5. Low to high.
Scroll up.
Yeah, no, it had the
What was-
it was the stuff with the red tipped heat sinks. Where's it gone? Ah. While I'm searching for this and doing my things, what was your conclusion with the PC?
Ghosts.
I see. Yeah, that's the heatsink I'm looking for.
Oh, right. Okay. Ghosts.
I see. Is it just haunted?
Yeah. Absolutely no idea.
That's the stuff.
It's just broken.
That's annoying. So you tried a different SSD in it. Have you tried different
Which is
memory?
absolutely fine.
Yeah. Did you try
So,
different RAM in it?
So with a different SSD in it, it's absolutely fine. With that SSD in another computer, that SSD is absolutely fine. That SSD in this computer is not fine.
That with a different SSD in it, it's fine.
Yes.
Okay,
The
that's
computer is fine.
cool. That's fine because I'm going to put a different SSD in
Yeah.
it. So
but
yeah,
somehow, ghosts.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, fine. Okay, so the TLDR is there's nothing wrong with the computer, just the SSD was wacky, but that's not the SSD that I'm selling it with anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Cool. Right, 1 terabyte SSD. 1 terabyte Orico. 42 pounds. Give me my link. Get link. There we go.
And I'm now just wondering if successfully booting it on the other computer has unhaunted it.
Yeah. Let's see. Have we still got? Yeah. CX
No.
650.
Broken.
650 plus. Whoop. Good. All right. 53 pounds. Yep. All right. A heatsink. Thermalright. Spirit. Assassin.
Do you think this Spirit's going to be big enough?
Assassin Spirit.
Do you not
The
want
one.
the Spire 120 SE? Spire, sorry.
Hang on a sec. Where's the dual fan Assassin Spirit? Yeah, our Assassin X. Must be that one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, that'll be alright.
How much is the Thermalright Spire SE?
Spire.
SE.
Spire SE.
Yeah. What?
It is brake pads.
Huh? That's literally a product that exists. Because you had it in your... Or is it Spirit?
It's Spirit, yeah. The
Spirit SE. Yeah.
Spirit SE, yeah. That's what I was so.
Yeah, 'cause the
Spirit
Spirit
120
is the SE
Yeah.
is the dual tower one. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, but it's
no.
also 30ish quid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I don't think we're going to top. 17 quid for the Assassin X, and that's a dual fan tower. That's just
Yeah.
enough for what we're doing.
How much is it off of overclockers? Because you're already buying off of overclockers.
Yeah,
How much are the Thermalright, the big ones?
Is that RITE? No, it is. They did spell it correctly. Thermalright
Yeah.
Assassin X, 16 quid on the dot versus 17 pounds. So yeah, pound extra. Is it? Oh, that looks like the single fan version though. So no. Yeah, Amazon cheaper.
Yeah, it was also just if any of like the dual tower ones were,
Yeah.
like £20 off of
Yeah,
overclockers.
I'm
or
not
something like
arguing over 50p to be honest.
that. No, but it was
Yeah.
a case of if it was 20 quid for the dual tower,
Ah,
You just
no.
made it a table.
Gemini, die in a fire. All right. I'm so sick of AI being forced everywhere. Everywhere I look, it's just like there's an AI button. I'm like, go away. Good afternoon, everyone.
Why are you wrong?
What? What about AI go away?
No, about being angry because you clicked on a button and it did a thing.
Why was the button even there? Gonna explode. Okay,
I hope
right,
you've got more
monitor.
M.2 screws.
Yeah, I got loads. I take it you just dropped it and it just disintegrated.
It's on your floor. Ah, there we go. It's possibly that screw, or that might be one of...
That will be an entirely different screw that you've just rediscovered from the void. I guarantee it. Cool. Bam. That's a tasty PC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Catching up on chat.
Did it.
CCL computers have got some good stuff. Yeah. CCL are usually pretty good. However, I don't want to place another order, basically. We'll have a quick look just for funsies. Let's just kill all of these tabs. CCL.
Yeah, you can just search for that.
Yeah, will that come up? CCL Online.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's CCL. I use them for their cheap keyboards and mouse pads every now and then.
Pillar Assassin 120 SE. Yeah, 20 quid. Yeah, this is pretty
Oh,
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit. Assassin King 120 SE. So the single fan version, 10 quid. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys aren't wrong.
I think they've got free delivery as well.
Yeah. I just like ordering everything from Amazon because that's where I have accounts that are logged in. I just go add to basket and it shows up the next day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that a case fan in black for 99p?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice looking case fan as well. Like, it doesn't look like trash. Buy a couple of those with your frame 4000D.
Yeah.
CCL are perpetually bankrupt. Yeah. Somehow.
Buy 3 PC components and save 5%.
Oh, I put in the Lenovo on the monitor. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Hold on. I've got to fix the thing. LG Ultra Gear 24 IPS. Bam. Bam. And what was that you just said, Caradog?
Buy 3 components, get 5% off.
Nice.
That's what CCL said.
Ah.
Wasn't even AI.
Buy 3, get 5% off. I
Yeah.
see. AI dog. Just take a picture of a dog. There are many of them. They're free. You can take them home. I have 60 of them at home. Sorry. Central Processing Unit processors.
Processors. Processing your processes.
Yes. 170. Show me. Yeah. B650. Yeah, motherboard prices are fine. Oh, 130 quid for the motherboard that we're looking at. That's the same as Amazon. That was about 130, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, same as Amazon. Where were we looking just then? It was there. Yeah, they've got the motherboard for the same price. Hypothetically, if we said add to basket, and then we said 3 components. So
just keep
B580.
having a look at the components that were on there. Because I presume it's
No,
only
they don't
the ones...
have a graphics card that we want.
Yeah.
CPU processors. They're not going to have a 7700 at any reasonable price, I bet, but let's just entertain this though. 7600 for 185 quid. So no, we're not going to get anywhere near the price for the CPU. So that's a no. Memory. Let's see, 6,000. They're going to list any timings. 6,000 CL30, 124. Hang on a sec. Show me price low to high. DDR5. 6,000. Unknown. Oh yeah, we want 32 gigs. 32 gigs. 32 gigs. Tell me, where's the kit size? 128. What does this mean?
Number of modules.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. 2 modules. 16, 16, 32, 4800, 5200, blah, 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 blah. 56,
yeah,
52,
not great, is it?
6000 CL36, 6036, 64, 52, 52, 52. Next. Yeah, we're up to £92 here.
Yeah.
But if it saves us money somewhere else, let's just see where this leads. 6000 CL36.
Well,
So
5% is only worth
Yeah.
£4.
No, yeah, we're not going to
Basically, the
get
level
there.
we're looking at.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, we're
it's
not going
worth
to get
looking
that.
at all the other parts.
Yeah, like the
What other
motherboard.
parts you got? Cases.
Yeah.
Storage, fans and cooling.
Depending on what you're buying.
Is the cooler on that list of fans and cooling?
Probably. Or they probably have a cooler that we can use anyway, but we need a dual fan or a dual tower.
There you go.
That's in white and black for another quid, sure. Did I add to basket? I probably did. Yeah, 2 items in basket.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what about storage? What do you got in storage? Also, do you have the cases that we want as well? First player, I see. GameX, Fractal, blah 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 blah. A lot. There's many pages of this. Okay, what about let's look for something that's easier to find. Sysadors, RAM and 2 fans. Fans and cooling.
Yeah, because if a 99p fan is on there,
Yeah.
just add that to basket.
Lol.
Go to the basket.
Discount £7.50. Yeah. So that gets us.
So what is that pricing
So
compared?
yeah. So for £143.
Well, you've got the per item pricing there, so just compare the per item.
I'm looking at the total just because whatever, but yeah, 143. Yeah, okay. So £123 for the motherboard and £19 for the thing, but then we've got another pound there. So I think it works out cheaper because we're paying 130 quid for the motherboard, so that would work out the cooler at 13p. So yeah, I can save myself a shiny. £5 by buying from CCL.
Nice.
Honestly, I'd rather buy it from Amazon because then it's all going to show up with everything else, and if there's any problems, I send it back. Which I know I can do with them anyway, but like I don't have an account with CCL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about £5 that badly for the sake of convenience, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah.
you've also upgraded the cooler.
Yeah, that is a better cooler. I'll give you that. But for that, I don't like ordering from multiple places if it's not apparently obvious. Until they go bust again, then warranty is pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just buy from Amazon for the sake of a couple of quid. So yeah, this is solid. This works. Is good, and that's Amazon and an overclockers order, and I'm okay with buying the graphics card from overclockers because I already have an account with them. So yeah. What the Tetris was that wrong one case? This going in the shop.
Yeah,
This is for a customer.
The
Yeah.
Game Max case.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, how are we doing? We are at 3 hours, so that brings us full circle, folks.
The hell are you? Ugh.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos fulfilled. Yeah, I know. I'm not here to save the world. Within reason.
If not you, then who?
Well, yeah.
Only because that's your own words.
Was it? I was going to say that was a good one-liner, and I'm actually impressed I came up with that. Did I actually say that?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I'm pretty sure it's from Radiohead or something, but you know.
How dare you?
When I am king.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I am king, you will be first against the wall. That is Radiohead.
I dare regularly.
Specifically from Paranoid Android. So yeah, which, man, I don't enjoy classic Radiohead anymore.
Okay.
However, In Rainbows is an absolute banger of an album. Go listen to In Rainbows by Radiohead. Cracking album. Okay, I think we're done. I've enjoyed this conversation in English. What are you looking for? Because you look like you're looking for something.
Some way of connecting my Type-C to this machine.
Okay.
Whilst also using the Type-C for this.
Yeah, you'll need an A to C cable because
Yes.
that's only got a single Type-C on it. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. What happened to the retention clip and screws for that motherboard? I bought them and put them in the video. In the video, I put them on.
Oh, for PS4. Sorry, I thought you said for that PC. I was like, what PC?
Yeah.
What retention clips?
Graham slams Windows 10 on it and then 6 months to charge them for 50 quid for Win 11. No. That's hideous.
Ah, that's amazing.
That's disgusting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sleepwalker chief salesperson.
Absolutely disgusting. Hideous. It'll auto update anyway. Yeah,
Not
that's
if you
true.
do. Not if you do registry edits.
Oh no. Yeah, just leave secure boot turned off on purpose or something. I hate it.
Disable FTPM.
On that bombshell, it's time to end. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see
Psi
you.
levels of upsell.
We'll see you all soon. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Sai is just like, even I'm not that disgusting. All right. Thank you all. Toodaloo.
Goodbye.
Bye. Where do
YouTube
I?
Studio.
YouTube Studio.
There you go.
End stream.
Did it. A+.
Toodles.
10 out of 10. Bye.